Hello, friends. How are you? We are going to be watching. We are going to be watching the thing. Let me see if I have everything set up. Let's see. I believe we go here. And now we click this button. I'm gonna fixing it. Audio. But there's no audio. Why is there no audio? They might have to use Edge.
There's a gold armor in play, right? You're gonna have to send out so much of it to really
Okay,
make too
Edge
much of a fight
works.
happen over
I
there.
don't know
But
why,
speaking about
but
advantages,
we're
though,
just gonna use
there's
Edge.
a lot of scanning, right? A lot of the
Small
recon
indie
happening here as
company.
the teams are trying to find a good, decent position and some nice bit of clarity as to how they are to move in.
Yeah, and again, we see when we looked at the operators, and again, you can see them on the
Think
left.
like
They're on mobile,
this?
small, but
Question mark?
Raptor is on every single team. Why? Because you can get so much intel. And Zero Dam has these wide open spaces on rotations. You've got to clear if you're going to try to go from one POI to the next. Raptor can be also helpful inside. But Team Liquid are alone inside of admin, which is very surprising.
While we see that,
Their start,
we are going to figure out.
Tier 1 spawn and getting to admin first is nice for loot, but usually you're one of the first teams to an engagement.
What that means.
Now, all quiet.
Okay.
Finally pulls
I think I have everything set up. Thank you, Smoke Eye. Rest well.
Right. I mean, slowly but surely, they're definitely looking to stack up on as much of the loot here available to them. It's all going to be down to whether or not they can actually firstly get those into their 3x3s. That's going to be step number one. And step number bonus is going to be if they get to extract, right? That really helps out quite a bit. But you were talking about...
That's crazy they got admin for free.
What, 2.4 mil
but I guess they're like most teams on the first round, they prioritize the drop and trying to get the out. Or the Barrett.
Easy points on the board.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's a great shout, DK. This is a very slow start compared to what we're used to. Oftentimes, these teams will be much more aggressive, but it looks like Evil Geniuses are outside of admin right now, taking their time as Articuno is way away. They're coming in from the underground area here. It's Articuno currently underground, working his way towards admin. Potentially, or at least holding to see if maybe somebody else is going to take this rotation, get some intel.
Intel is key, right? You need that to have a good play moving forward here, especially when you are trying to focus on getting your hands on as much loot, especially in this first initial phase here. Looking over towards BTH, though, they are going to be situated still pretty much over in towards that major substation, trying to test the water, looking to see if it's going to be worthwhile, maybe venturing up into Visitors. But as we can see on the map, of course, Visitors is open. FaZe, though, in the meantime, they're going to come through with a little bit more of a sneaky approach, coming in through on the zip lines. Ooh, we do see some bolties there, so that could be quite an exciting play from their end.
Now, FaZe have rotated, like you mentioned, all the way up Rage. Over kind of near the parkour course to get down to where this airdrop is. The airdrop's actually landed on the north.
We're cheering for Team Liquid today because our friends are there.
which is just outside of
Aaron,
shipping containers.
Mendo,
Looks like
Hotsick,
is looking at. I think he has a read
Colin.
on the fact that WKF have elected to try to make a play potentially for this airdrop. You can see it on the mini map. It's that gold or yellow.
I think there's
triangle
something I don't understand is why
in from the
they're all
skies.
using
I
like
don't think they quite
big
have an
scopes.
angle on
Like
it,
no
but
one's using
from a
like
bird's eye view of the map, and at least from where Snows is looking, I think
Heck, I
he
just-
spotted. Yes,
what?
definitely spotted Team Nate shot way up into the distance. I'm glad all of those players are still in the lobby, so Team Nate shot back into the action. We'll see how they decide to rotate to some action. DK, I don't know that we've watched nearly 8 minutes of zero dam at this point without hardly a bullet fired in general. I mean, we've seen some standoffs in admin, but this is next level. People really taking their time to warm up. Wild.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a shift in the pacing that we're looking at. But, you know, if you ask for shots, you just wait a little while and the teams will answer the question.
There
and
we
the
go.
WK Forever are stepping
I
straight
think
up
Delta
onto
Force
it.
is
You
one
can
of
see
those games
Crab
where if I
really
complain
finding himself in a
about
bit
like
of a
not
spot
seeing
open here.
anyone, and then
Pushing
all of a
up onto
sudden
those containers.
everyone
But
is
even
there.
looking at Team Liquid's position, right, it doesn't seem like they're really all to
Hello,
face. Yes,
Fabi.
we do see
Nice to hear you.
Hansi
Welcome,
poking out the
welcome.
window,
What's
just putting a few
co-streaming?
sprays over in this direction. We do see Window
I get
covering back.
to
He's
stream
making
the
sure that
broadcast
nobody's gonna slide
visually.
up through there. But if we look down below into the underground, this is where we've got the Evil Geniuses and BTH getting right into the action. The first hit coming through there, and this could be a start of a
Thank you for the
beautiful
follow,
snowball
Remy.
session.
Yeah, it's an interesting play because Artican was actually split from his team, so he's not even playing right next to his team. He's playing on the outside, so they're actually setting, like you said, a pinch to be able to surround BTH.
Oh, this guy might be cooked.
Looks pre-programmed. It looks
This
planned by
guy's in a
Geniuses, and
really
BTH
bad spot. He needs to get
maybe are
out.
starting to realize,
Ah, he
we
got
don't
very
like this
lucky.
fight, at least not this
If
position in
Muo
play.
swung
So
that,
Artican
it
does
would have
try from a
been
different angle
cooked.
as well. They might back out a little bit here, not overcommit to a fight they don't feel like they can win.
It's always important to try and get a good read on the situation here. I think both teams doing a pretty decent job. Nobody blindly committing to anything, but in the meantime, while our squads are focused on each other, we do see that airdrop trying to be reached here by the side of WKF. Of course, the second one is going to be opening up very, very soon as well, and already the play is coming through from Team Nadeshot. They are beautifully set up exactly for that play. They've not been able to find a whole lot of loot, though. Only 56k to their name. That is a pretty scary number to look at, but for a whole bunch of different reasons, right? You want to see as many as you can find, or rather get as much loot as you can find. So the higher the number, the better it is. In the meantime, waiting to see some kind of a conclusion come through here between the Evil Geniuses and BTH. Both squads kind of just finding themselves in that standoff. At some point, somebody has to do something, right? They either have to rotate all the way up through the tunnels, get up in towards admin, or they just got to send it, right? Get a bit sweaty.
Yeah, this is anything but at this point. BTH, like I mentioned, really didn't feel good about this angle. Take a look at what Team Nadeshot's doing. They've actually set up on the south side of the map, playing for the second air.
That's crazy. WKF is finally moving into admin. It's been really slow compared to the other Zero Dam games.
Being contested by somebody else, and currently the coast is clear. So we'll see what they pull. Hopefully something decent. So far, not great at all. Yeah, pretty rough. Did pick up a Rolex, nice from Slept. But again, when you're looking for 2 million to equal a single supply point, I mean, that helps buy some better loadouts, but doesn't really help in the point category. Which is
Yeah, like
important.
2 mil to get a single point is not crazy, but I feel like round 1 it's more important to fight for the or get the kill points.
I like the aggression that they're showing, though, right? I mean, they're not just walking into the
Like, because if you get the early, you just take no bag at.
They're running, trying to clear these angles as quickly as they can. As you can see, Mendo is primed and ready to go with D-Wolf. As he activates that quick ulti here, is going to get ready to just push on forward. Oh, the aggression, though, landing right on him.
No, Aaron.
Mendo quick with the follow-up. Absolutely on the
Okay, good. Good trade.
Mendo, but Krabs be able to trade it right back. WKF, they've got one more in their sights and they get it.
No,
We
good
said
try.
WKF played too slow. They heard the call. And
That was a really,
WQ forever. They
that was really
inside,
close.
and they wipe Team Liquid, who is not prepared.
That's okay. They still got
for, yes, the
1.4
onslaught,
mil.
but also not
I mean, that
prepared
doesn't
for
matter
Cloud's
too much
position.
because it's not a
What a
point.
win from WKF.
But
Looks like Evil Geniuses maybe.
yeah,
hear the
that was
gunshot, hear the
unfortunate.
fire, and want to get into the action. Certainly showing up too late. They're slowly creeping their way back from the underground position into admin, potentially contest this team while FaZe has crept down from the outside. We've got more action on screen already as Evil Geniuses made their way to the first floor, working their way up the stairs.
I like this kind of basing going through here, and it's just absolute sweats all over the place. But let's see whether or not Crab can get his hands on even more eliminations. Because looking at the Evil Geniuses right now, what they've been doing in the previous days, they really know how to work their way through these engagements. So it is all going to be on WKF to see whether or not they can actually land those sprays. But look at the teamwork. A nice bit of that strategic push coming through. Again, not a whole lot of blind sending. Instead, they are going to be basing it up, but they have to pick up the base considerably because FaZe is now also entered the building. So the heat is going to be coming
Okay,
in
go
really
Muo.
hot.
We are Muo
This is
fans.
bad news for Evil Geniuses because FaZe is going to come up and third party this. And
I think that's the one thing I like about streaming is that I have like so many friends, you know? Like, I know so many people now.
But Evil Geniuses feel the pressure. I think they're getting a read on the situation. Look at them go. They are full sprinting away from this engagement, trying to put WKF potentially in the middle of the two teams, themselves, and then, of course, FaZe on the other side. FaZe is split up, playing underground, playing on the outside, working their way in. Not triple challing as a full team. This is a smart play from Evil Geniuses. They did not want to get tramped here.
We didn't need that round. True.
Now remaining. We're gonna see another
We just wanted to give them a false sense of hope, you know? And we're big Mendo fans. Big Mendo fans, big Hotstick fans, big Aaron fans.
Between these two, while on the opposite side, FaZe is getting really aggressive. This is best case scenario for Evil Geniuses, but even better for WKF, who's just picked up their 4th kill point of Zero Dam. Really going for these points early.
So it seems like Evil Geniuses, they've done a really good rotation going all the way
They use tac stats a lot more than I do.
Well removed from this engagement, but FaZe actually being
More opportunities. I mean, I guess so, but like, I'm just happy like I'm like friends, you know? Happy to be here. I'm a happy to be here type of person.
In this lobby, they already took down Team Liquid. Could it be FaZe, the next one to fall?
Oh wow, that's crazy. Crazy angles.
This is now FaZe being caught in a sandwich.
Yeah, picture down on the bottom right. BTH and Team Nadeshot are trading blows. They're both down a player right now. So
Is there a reason why everyone uses D-Wolf on Zero Dam? I see a lot of people burning the D-Wolf. I sometimes even double D-Wolf.
To see the engagement here. Chris trying to line one up on Toot. This is going to be a res coming through for Lord Jackow. Utilizing Vlinder, we talked about the metas and what operators people choose. Vlinder is very valuable in team fights here on Zero Dam. But both teams able to pick up their third. Both teams, a full team of 3, trying to engage on one another and get a player advantage yet again.
Like how the position has evolved and both teams now taking it above ground. Where
You very nice, Hazy.
You can breathe slightly more comfortably as well. But let's see whether or not Ka is going to get anything locked in here. It's just scanning frantically up ahead.
Thank you, Oram. Hope you're doing well today.
That something is just around the corner as there's good awareness from either.
This is like the worst place for me to fight. Every time, there's always some guy in a bush. Like, it's different for Pro League, but like, in solo queue, the south part of Zero Dam is like a nightmare. If you don't have a scan, this is gonna be a guy in a bush for like 25 minutes.
Solid cash. But even more importantly, they have the kills. WKF on 4 right now. Folks, we already have 3 minutes on the clock. Our poor elevator extract is likely not going to be used at this point. I would say certainly not going to be used. And also Team Nadeshot finally finding their first blood. on 2 after the reses went both ways. They now have a small player advantage, and BTH do have a height advantage.
Oh,
in
I
this
see if the
engagement,
redeem code
with a
works.
potential pinch pushing up.
Now,
TBH gonna try to
while
get
we
better
do
their bonus
this,
and make sure they get this full. Very well done to get the point, the extra cash, and he's hunting down Kaz. Actually pinned 1, ping 2, looking for the 3rd right now. Only 1 player remaining, and Ka is running for his life. Just preventing Team Nadeshot from getting another kill point is really important. We swing back to another piece of the action because WKF, again, on 4 kills this map. Currently the big winners of Zero Dam. Looking for a bit more.
I like where their head's at. I like what they've been doing so far. Let's see whether or not FaZe can get the ball rolling on the action here. Crab just so relentless on the efforts, as we do see the base there from the Evil Geniuses starting to move in, and this is now WK.
yeah, everyone's using like
quite a bit of a
a
predicament here.
137 scope or like a
So far, doesn't
like
seem
an insane
they are
like
too
large
phased.
scope.
They seem quite capable of handling the stakes here. As you can see now, the shots are starting to lock in onto FaZe as they start to move on forward. Mumu also going to come in with quite a bit of aggression here, and it is going to be absolute sweat. Peeking quick on the reaction, picks up the trade, but can he now close it up as the Evil Geniuses are going to continue with the bombardment here?
A 2v2 on main with 90 seconds on the clock. These are extremely important kills for both teams. But WKF now have 5 kill points. And it looks like they may even prevent Evil Geniuses from getting the full that they desperately want. They're able to pick up this res. This is great points gained and great points held from their opponents. Articuno looking to get a bit more aggressive, but doesn't want to sell his life. A 2v3 is possible for these gentlemen, especially when the res is going off. But is the res just a bait? Are they prepared for this? He's holding it still, and here we go. The double chow, utilizing some of the util to swing through pretty quickly. Doesn't get really much damage on. The BKF still winning this engagement. Even as the drone explodes, it doesn't do much. And still, WKF are holding their own. And Satoka's just going to roll up as a solo and hope and pray that in the last 40 seconds, he can find a kill.
Well, definitely has the opportunity available to him. It's all going to come down to just timing it to perfection. But so far, things are looking pretty tough on the side here of EG as they've been traded down to a 2-piece. WKF, though, is still keeping up the pace. Oh, wow. Zygoda has been spotted out quickly, falling back into hard cover, and unfortunately, he can only do so much. Down they go now. WKF has the opportunity to try and clear this one out because EG is on the ropes.
10 seconds.
Why is the quality so low?
One more, yes! Ka goes down.
There we go.
Up in the final seconds of the map. Team Nadeshot find a couple kills. They are also the only team to extract 1 player. We saw that in the camera box down to the bottom right while all the action was happening in the admin. Team Nadeshot do sneak a player out. But WKF, absolutely the biggest winners. I think they had a total of 6 kills on the map, folks. That is 4.8 mil in total value, let alone the 6 points that they just straight up gives you in the kill point category, which equals our squad points. Those 6 kills will do wonders for them to be at the top of the leaderboard by a large margin, with likely Team Nadeshot behind.
You guys should tell me these things.
And yes, no, what ended up being 7 total kills that they picked up for WK Forever. Top team on the map with 7 is a great start for this roster. A roster that,
How many
again,
points is each kill? It's 1 point per kill, and get 2 mil and extract. That's also 1 point, and then if you get brick, the brick is like the win condition, you know? So you could have like 1 billion points, but if you don't have a brick, then it doesn't matter. Nah, I think it's 2 mil for 1 point. Yeah, I'm like 95% sure it's 2 mil per point for the supply points. They'll probably say it again.
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to remember where they came from. They rotated all the way up the north side of the map, barracks all the way over. They worked their way for the airdrop. They saw the airdrop. It was out in the open. They couldn't really do anything about it. So they go, you know what? We're being held by Team Liquid inside. Let's get inside and chow them. They drone. They see that they have a free rotation. They take it. They get inside. They wipe Team Liquid. And then everybody else swarmed to admin. And WKF were the last team standing. I mean, really impressive stuff from them. But in terms of asset earners, Chris was the only player to actually get out of the map, picking up 1.6
If you had to
million there.
extract,
But it will
no, most like right now the strat is like rather than extracting, is more value to stay and fight. Or you send out one player with loot, and then yeah, you send out like one player with 2 now, so you get 1 point, and then the other 2 stay and keep fighting. Oh, Danger, how are you?
We saw only the second airdrop get looted. Nobody has an AWM or an M82. It's one of the first times I've not seen that first airdrop. It was contested, but nobody was able to get anything out of it because they were more focused on getting their kills. So very interesting kickoff to day 1 here of week 2.
Yep, you know, it's also interesting if you head over to the playdeltaforce.com website and download the game. It's available on so many different platforms, so be sure to get your hands on it. If you've not done so already, you can also go follow us on all the social media platforms. And
Okay, I'm gonna get some money because they're gonna yap for like 5 minutes.
So there's going to be a lot to look forward to. And of course, Doge, we first have to step into our first break of the day.
For some, success is measured by bodies in bags. Maybe that suits them. But to me, it's measured in hearts that keep beating. You with me?
Enemy got the mantle brick. Find it. Stop them. Mantle brick decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
What goes around, comes around.
Not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there?
The only reason to extract is to bring the AWM. Yep. Exactly. Like, there's not really a reason to extract if you don't bring the AWM.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise Series. It's week 2, day 1. It's groups B and D for the Americas region, and WKF, bottom of the leaderboard in group standings after last week, top of the leaderboard today after game 1. Now, it was just an eco round, but they certainly earned a ton of cash. Let's take a look at those leaderboards and see how much cash, because my goodness, woo, they picked up 4 supply points from all that cash they got from getting those kills here at DK, but they got 7 kills. So added together, 11 total points. Dwarfs everybody else besides Team Nadeshot, who did end up picking up 7. What a start for these two teams.
Yeah, I mean, they turned that eco round into an ego round right now. So they just demolish everybody. But that's the exact thing that I feel the team starting off today at the bottom of the leaderboard needs to do coming into the next day, right? Play like this. Continue doing this. I want to see W just continuing to bring absolute brutality onto the field, because as we know, stepping into round number next, that is where we are going to be starting to color in those lovely Mandel brick sections as well. So I think Team Nature, they are going to be super amped about this, because as I've already mentioned, last week they got a free Mandel brick in round number 2. But I don't think the teams are going to let that one slide, right? I think the teams are going to look to bring in quite a bit of that pressure as quickly as they can. But last time we saw Natron and Team Liquid stepping onto the field, we did see Team Natron take out Team Liquid very, very quickly. So, yeah, I'm expecting a bit of a comeback story, potentially maybe from Team Liquid here.
Yeah, definitely Team Liquid needs some revenge. I mean, they had a very frustrating start. They did end up picking up 1 kill in that engagement, WK getting the full, but otherwise, they didn't really get anything else in that map. So losing their Akira, losing a decent meta value, they're pretty low on the leaderboard still. Yes, technically in 3rd, but 3 points compared to 11 is a gigantic difference. Gonna need to make it up here in Brock. But of course, those points only matter if you don't have mana bricks or you're tied in mana bricks. So we will have a team definitively at the top after this next round. Now again, Brackish, if you haven't watched in a little while with the Delta Force Rise series, Brackish is a map with every operator still on the board, except I guess Team Liquid ran double D-Wolf, so you won't see a D-Wolf from Team Liquid unless we go to Game 7. But with every operator on the board, Brackish is a map that not only has a mana brick,
Yeah, Team Liquid and Nightmare, they both use double duel on Zero them.
to play for. You oftentimes see operators like Oluru, operators like Morris, Gizmo, you can see right here as popular operators on the map. But another one that was surprisingly not on this graphic, it should be here. No, still it's just these 3. I would say probably the 4th is Raptor. A lot of these teams like to go ahead and invest both their Raptors in the first 2 rounds to get that extra intel. But DK, talk to me about spawns. It does look like Team Liquid and BTH did pick up the 2 T1 spawns in Zero Dam.
Yeah, as we can see, it is going to be restricted to both those teams. They won't be getting those T1 spawns coming into round number 2. That is, of course, opening up to the rest of the lobby, right? So they now have the opportunity to potentially spawn in those T1s. And of course, you want to get that T1. That is going to get you that quick access to the Mandel brick.
Yeah, tier 1 spawn can be very valuable, but folks, yes, it might be valuable. It doesn't mean you're going to get the Mandel brick assuredly. Now, before we jump into round 2,
We're landing.
guess what? Our players are looking for some extra rewards on the map. They're trying to get their loot up, and we've got another giveaway for you. You can see the screen right now. Redeemable code to unlock the SR3M Combat Ready. Go get it right now. Type in this code. You can do it in-game or on the official website. It is first come, first serve. Type it in ASAP. All of these activations for this code are limited, so you may run out. You might type it in and it says, well, they've already all been used. That's the exact language. If they've all been used, you won't get anything. Go get your SR3M Combat Ready skin right now. Very cool look for the SR3M, and I'm excited for you. Hopefully you type it in fast enough, because that is a somewhat confusing code. So you've got to be quick on the draw and also tapped in. But speaking of tapped in, let's tap into round number 2. Brockish, it's Mana Bricks. Let's get it on.
Yes, sir. Ooh. FaZe and Team Nadeshot starting us off with that T1 spawn. So that is going to be a really good start for both teams. You can see already They are just full sending it up into museum.
You guys
Meanwhile,
got that.
BTH are going for a very wide wrap around the north there. WKF also wide, but Team Liquid and the Evil Geniuses getting ready for potential altercation right there up in Tower of Babel.
Yeah, that's definitely the two hot spots. Tower Bubble is one of those weird spots on the map where oftentimes it's
That's
certainly the best
crazy.
loot on the map,
Two
but
favorite
many
teams are
will leave
fighting
immediately to come play for
in
the Mana Brick, because again, the Mana
Babel.
Brick's the most important part. But some teams will elect to stay, turn up all that loot, and hope somebody else steals the brick away so that they can get there late to the party. But here's the spawn. We take a quick look at our operator choices across the board. It's pretty much exactly what we thought. We see a couple teams still running their Raptors. We do see a lot of those most popular
And they
operators.
do giveaways?
A lot
They
of
do.
engineers this time around to help zone off some of these positions where the decoding stations are. And Mr. Diogod is going for the old snake in the grass play. If you just keep slithering along, nobody's going to know you're there. They don't know is that nobody's really even looking at the brick. Team Nadeshot's trying to, but they're also trying not to scam. So if they overcommit on a look here and go down, that would be a free brick for somebody else. Team Nadeshot, with that tier 1 spawn, gonna get the power position inside. Gonna make FaZe think twice about grabbing this brick.
Yep. At least we are going to be seeing a little bit of a back and forth coming through on this side.
Oh.
It's going to be Diogod to get his hands on it first. So Slept just missed out on that opportunity, but it is a great start here for FaZe. We did see all that dancing coming through from Diogod before we got into the action here today. Now currently absolutely locked, and you can see the focus on his face. He's just scanning those windows looking for any potential opportunities. Meanwhile, Team Nadeshot, they're just keeping their ears open, right? Scanning the area, making sure that they can figure out exactly how to try and move through here. So it is going to be a little bit of a back and forth, I think, at least for the time being, between both these teams.
Yeah, interesting play from Team Nadeshot. They feel very content to let the Mana Brick go to another team because they're holding the museum decoding station. They know that this FaZe roster can't get inside, so they need to go somewhere else. And if you look top middle, you see that 5-minute timer is already down to 4 to get it to a decoding station. And their first airdrop will start to descend here in about 60 seconds. So a lot to still play for on the map. Of course, we're paying attention to these two teams. The rest of the teams taking their time. Some are actually relaxed on some of the decoding stations, hoping that whoever grabbed the brick comes to them and they get a free pick and a free start of the decode once they get the wipe.
I thought you said you were working on your essay.
Now
You
FaZe
lied to
is
me.
to sit here and
Only close the video game. Finish your essay
Not
first.
interested in running it anywhere else.
And no Frost, how are you? That doesn't sound like working to me. Is the essay on Delta Force Esports?
Team Nadeshot now
Big
going
fan?
about their business here. Go for a little bit of loot, right? Because this is still an eco round. So let's see whether or not they'll be able to find themselves a little bit of something. That protein powder can work out quite well, right? If you want to build some muscle, but you need to try and build economy. So it's not going to be worth all that much. And it does seem like it is pretty slim pickings, at least for the time being. We've not really seen any reds stepping up onto the screen just yet. Of course, it does sound like we have that attack helicopter coming out as well. So that is going to make things a little bit more challenging for the teams. And indeed about the reds, here they come. As you can see,
Oh,
everything
Mendel
that's
got the
going to be
card. The
on
gold
up.
card is
We have
such a
few
good
of those
red.
force alts now
It
getting
like
played as
it's not
well,
worth a
trying to
lot,
gather as
but the
much information
animation
as
is
they can,
S
but I
tier.
don't know if
S tier
FaZe will
animation.
be able to figure out exactly where Team Nadeshot is.
Here's a look at BTH, who just pulled some nice reds. Here's a look at the map. So this is what I really wanted to see. You can see that WKF has actually been camping this brackish decoding station up here in top middle. And then you see that Evil Geniuses said, okay, well, if they're not going to go up to market, they're going to go over to camp, which is where we want to be. Also, the airdrop's here. So we kind of killed 2 birds with 1 stone. Then Team Nadeshot's like, well, if they go inside the museum, we've been sitting here and they know that. So where does FaZe go? Currently nowhere. They have sat in the building that they've been holding since they grabbed the Mana Brick for now over 3 minutes. The 5-minute timer once it's picked up. And everybody's confused. They're like, where is, like, what's going on? They know where the brick is, but they're just waiting for that brick to move. And it hasn't moved an inch.
Yeah, interesting tactic coming through here from them. Let's see
The
whether or not
decoding stations are on the
is
south
gonna
side.
Get this ball rolling. I mean, I think the downside here for FaZe is they've given all the other teams across the map so much opportunity to get set up on these decoding stations. So essentially, they've kind of dug a hole for themselves, right? So this is going to be quite a bit of a challenge. Let's see if they can get that entry successfully.
They could just drop the brick. How troll would it be if he just never put it in?
Right back to where it came from. And here comes the hits now.
Snows with a sneaky play through the window on the other side. He's able to grab the ledge, jump up on
The
that
double
ledge,
headshot through the window?
catch Team Nate shot by
That was an
surprise.
insane
Now
angle.
we'll
I don't
face
think I've
an
ever died
engage over
there yet.
museum, and then they swing over to the decoding station that they checked. They looked over here
Ah.
with their Raptor and said, "Nope, there's nobody over there. Nobody's camping this one. Let's swing over to the western side of the map, just outside of museum, and go ahead and put it in." We were running out of daylight before that thing respawns. We don't have to go for that play again. So, good job from FaZe to kick things off. 4 minutes on the clock and counting, while the rest of the teams either engage with each other or come play for the steal. And currently, it looks like WKF yet again trying to be some of the first to the table with a kill under their belt.
Well, we see a few of those Gizmo plays coming out as well, but the trades are being had in both directions. WKF and Evil Geniuses now find themselves in a bit of a preemptive standoff here.
I have links disabled. You won't be able to post it. But yeah, it's the official Delta Force website. There's like a code redeem section. You guys got that.
The decoding station, as you've mentioned here, Goj, and I mean, it doesn't seem like anybody, at least not for the time being, is going to look to contest FaZe, right? They are pretty much focused in on each other, and Team Nation, they're starting to scan with their Allura rocket, but they're not gathering any info. They have no intel as to where FaZe went.
They've got to assume they're over at the decoding station where the brick is at, but they don't know exactly where they're positioned around it necessarily. So we do see that Evil Geniuses, they held off the advances of WKF, and why were they trying to play the south side of that?
Oh, they got the
Which
very
direction
nice.
Evil Geniuses wanted to hold because of where WKF likely wants to go, which is towards the brick. But also, guess what was in the street? An AWM inside of the airdrop. A big pickup for a guy like Muamu, who rarely misses. Really strong player, and the AWM very valuable. On a map like this, not a lot of time left on the decoding station. Maybe worth trying to make a move with that sniper. You only pick up 5 bullets, but maybe one-shotting people all over the map, as it looks like El Snows says, yeah, go ahead and cross the street. See what happens.
Only 2 minutes left.
So far, pretty good defensive angle being held here by the side of FaZe, as they will get tested on up. Now it is going to be Team Nadeshot and the Evil Geniuses finding themselves in a bit of an altercation. I'm curious to see what Team
I saw his
Liquid
foot.
does. We do see a very far rotation going through on that southern side as
Okay,
well. We see
nice.
trades coming in here, as we do see Team Nadeshot already 1 play down. They are left now with Crisp and, of course, Slept, looking to see if they can defend this
Nadeshot
position, but it is
in
gonna
a
be
not a
really
good
tough
spot
one
right
to
now.
successfully.
Because you're stuck between 2 teams. Like, you can't go towards the brick. And then there's an arm holding you on the other side.
They get shot in the back and have to
Felicity
fight
Han,
these
thank you,
Geniuses
rest
now,
a
and
while.
it's 3v3. So FaZe is going to sit here and go, really? Nobody's coming for us? Not yet? Okay, it's not going to be south. What if we check the north side? It'd be a smart move here from DioGod, starting to get some intel and some ideas that, yep, absolutely, we got a party on the north. And over there on the south, Team Nadeshot still deeply in trouble. Chris goes down as well, so Evil Geniuses should get the better of their opponents on the south side and show up eventually with a full team wipe, but it may just be too late. DioGod losing a bit of health because he just wasn't too careful. Really trying to contest this northern side, and appears like Gizmo, even Raptor, this utility can be extremely
There are only
impressive,
30
especially
seconds
when it's a
left.
multi-team fight, and that's exactly
You can
what's about to
hold
be with
it
Evil Geniuses
with
coming in the
MSU
south side.
too.
Snow's
Oh,
gonna
they got
sit
the
decode.
brick.
He wants
Oh,
to
they're
make sure that
sitting
if
on
anybody
it.
goes for the steal, he's going to be there with the gun in hand. 20 seconds on the clock. We're running out of daylight, and Evil Geniuses feel the pressure. Here
Maybe
goes
just get the
Loco.
brick.
Nice damage on DioGod.
They're
and
not
actually
gonna be able to get
DioGod
it.
with some util and the gun at the top,
Okay.
and now he's going to make a play for the brick. He's got to know that there's people
5
here. They gotta barrel
seconds.
up
Go,
their
go,
opponents.
go.
Remember, you can wipe
5
this team. If
seconds.
Sudoku goes down here, the timer will pause. Evil Geniuses, they just steal it right
Oh,
under
they
their
got
noses,
it.
and down goes FaZe. Evil Geniuses
Oh
all
my
3 up,
goodness.
and the brick currently decoding for them.
They got
Very
it.
well done
Let's
to strike
go.
FaZe when the iron was hot.
I mean,
Very
absolutely
well
big break
played.
strategies coming through here from them. That
Who
is
are
our
we rooting
first
for?
one getting
Team
wiped
Liquid and
down.
Evil Geniuses.
Now it's up to the rest
'Cause
of our
those
team
are
to
our
see who's gonna be
friends.
the one to walk away with that decoding.
And Team Liquid first because
Successfully
more
secured
friends
as
are
we do
on
see Evil Geniuses
Team
are looking
Liquid.
to lock it in. WKF not too far away from it either, so there could be quite a bit of that chain fighting starting to happen.
Yeah,
very,
we
very
cheer
soon.
for
Meanwhile, Team
Lindo,
Liquid, they're
Aaron,
just making sure
Hotsick.
that they can clean up Team Nate. We did see that last
And
week,
then
right?
if they get
Team
wiped, then
Nadeshot,
we
Team
cheer for
Liquid
Evil Geniuses.
finding each other in engagements time and time again, and it seems like this week it is going to continue between those two squads.
2.7, they
But
should send one
WKF are
person out
team to
here.
watch here, as they got a big W in round number 1. Can they secure
Unless
that
they want to
second
play
W
for
right
the
here on
brick.
game number 2 as well?
If they can secure the break, it might be
Evil
worth keeping the third
Geniuses
player.
Currently decoding. WKF technically in the best position to make a move for the brick, but unfortunately, they're getting sandwiched right now. So I'd say it was the best position in terms of just proximity.
This
but an
brick is a
awful position
really
to be in,
difficult
trapped between two
position.
really strong teams. For WKF to get out of this one, they need some help. What's the help going to be? Well, it's going to be a push from the southern side to get Evil Geniuses off their back. Here comes Team Liquid, Mindo, Boy, Hodsick. Swinging up the south side, completely uncontested right now with Team Nadeshot mostly out of the picture. Just slept as a solo, trying to stay alive. Team Liquid now in a prime position to cause some havoc for Evil Geniuses.
Well, so far so good. I like where the Havoc is going to be going, but meanwhile, it's still WKF trying to lock it down here. Ooh, BTH
Oh, wow.
quickly being
Like
put on a back
crazy,
foot,
double
absolute pinpoint
headshot.
accuracy, but now all the recon being used destructively as it is going to be sending its way straight over towards
Oh, he's stuck. He got
BTH. I
hit.
like the play. Scrap getting
Yeah,
hit
he
off
got
the
hit
hip.
with the.
Finding the first
But
player, but now
then
can he
that.
follow through and get that full
And you
wipeout?
go left and right.
And again,
Only
this fight
Gizmo
is
mans
great
really
news for
know
Evil
this,
Geniuses.
but you
It's
can
keeping
dodge the net if
the
you
North
time it
completely
properly when
contested.
by
They're all
going
fighting
left
each
and right.
other so that they
There's like
only have to shift their
an
focus over here.
animation
Team
right
Liquid,
before
Team
it
Liquid
shoots
not
the
able to make a
net.
move
So if
right
you
now.
move before that,
And
then
everybody
you
else in this
can
roster is
dodge the
looking
net.
this direction.
It takes a lot of
Checking
practice
the
though.
north, but they hear the shots going down.
It was
They
like
know
so
that there's a big
like
fight happening.
situational.
We've got to fight around the decoding station, and right now WKF are just hunting BTH. They're picking up 2. You'd think they just got to turn and come back and play for the brick, and that's exactly what they're doing. Here comes WKF. Took a little too long, and Team Liquid waited on their
40
opponents to help them out.
seconds.
They don't know exactly where they are, but with the timer going low, they've got to assume somebody's
Go,
pushing from the
Aaron,
north, and they
go.
would assume correctly.
Well, now it's all going to be down to how they can hold down this position here. I mean, this is a pretty tough position to be in, right? We got BTH, we got WKF, we got Evil Geniuses, and Team Liquid as Mendo
Here they
and Gonel
come.
starts to flow on forward. They do find the first
Uh-oh.
few trades, the first few openers, and this is EG in trouble.
Whoa.
No, Mo
That's 2
died.
down, the
That's
third down
good.
below. Loco
We're
in trouble.
cheering for
Remind
it,
us time
and
stops. If Loco
yeah,
dies, he's
let's
gotta stay
go.
alive.
Look
It's
at
the
that
only thing he
play.
cares about. 8 seconds on
Go,
the clock.
go, go.
And 5. Can they get him? Yes, they get him. The timer pauses.
Okay, let's go, Aaron.
Liquid wipe Evil Geniuses.
A
Have a
huge
redemption
player.
Here in
That
game
was
2, as
so
Overwatch team's
good.
alive and in control of the brick. They should get their res
That was a
as
really
well.
good execution.
BTH do pick up their reses, and WKF continue to lick their wounds closest to the break. But
I
yet
need to
to
stop
actually get
watching
their hands
Pro
on it.
League because I'm like expecting my
Well, that's not gonna
randoms
stop anytime
to
soon here,
also
so
be
we still have
watching
quite a few
so they
teams
know what to
looking to
do and they
contest
never
that
know what to
decode.
do.
Team Liquid, they have possession for now. The clock is ticking though. You can see just under 2.5 minutes left on the clock, and the round is going to be over in under 4.
This is good. Yeah, the brick and 2.6 now.
Also just scanning the area, making sure that there's no surprises.
Yeah,
coming
like
through,
raising my
and able to
standards for
ping
my
a few of the
randoms.
players, so that tells Team Liquid exactly what
But
they
the
need to
standard
know
is already
moving
like on the
forward
ground.
and doubling down the defensive.
I can hold this. They can
Although
hold
a
this.
little
They
less
win
than 4
this.
minutes on the
For sure they win
overall
this.
clock. We've got a long timer still.
As long as no one gets picked off. No!
Making sure his presence is felt on the map. He really likes to get that confirmed if he can. He's going to repeat this to make sure that it happens. But Boy's actually down below. Might be able to pick Mindo up.
Okay, Rez.
Slep might kind of full send for this if he can to make sure Mindo stays down. No. Not going to be able to find the angle. What a bummer for Team Nadeshot.
Okay, let's
Could do wonders
go.
for their overall leaderboard.
Where's-
But Slep's still on the map. Problem
It-
is our
Mindo
timers
almost
right
got
now. It's a
rotted.
3-minute clock.
And that
These
they need to
steals are making
heal. They're
continue to
pushing.
happen.
Hold,
Put us
hold
to
the
a point where
line.
Nobody gets the brick. We're not careful, and WKF feels that. They're going to put the pressure on. They're going to barrel stuff their opponents. No, yes, Crab gets it. Crab's been the hero for
No.
this roster. thus far in the first 2 games.
Okay,
He's
Mendo, good
continuing to be
trade
so,
there.
And now he's gonna go huge. Boy, getting really aggressive over the top, and I
What?
guess we don't hear that because there's too much util on the map. As a solo, boy, able to take down at least
The
one
pilot
member of
killed
the duo
Mendo.
of WKF, and it's a 1v1
That's
with the
so
mid on the clock for the steal.
cool.
Yes, Pecky could just, yeah, he's just gonna sit this. 2.5 seconds is all it takes to grab the steal, and he's able to do just that. Resetting the clock. Look at this. Top of the
Worth.
screen.
No, but then we get the trade. That's so worth. Yeah, that's fine. As 2v1 and they have position. They have positioning advantage. No, this is so good for him. As that's a 3v1v1. Like, Nate Shaw would have to somehow get a pick from the other angle. But they can still res hot take after a full reset. They still have 2 minutes. No, this is good. They just need to deal with the stupid helicopter.
Oh my goodness.
What? Wait, that's crazy.
Picking up Mendo as well, and this is now evening out that board. As you can see, Team Liquid, Team Nature,
This is not
WP
good.
forever, all sitting on one player apiece. As Mendo is about
I
to
can't
be
hear
brought back
anything.
into
The
the fight.
stupid
Also, that
helicopter.
attack helicopter is going absolutely crazy up top, but this could be a big old steal coming through there from the side of Team Nature, as we do see Slep now just trying to creep closer and closer to the position. Is he going to play his cards? I don't think so just yet, but Mendo still trying frantically to do
What?
something.
So this
That
is such a
stupid
weird interaction. We don't see
helicopter's
this that
griefing
often.
us.
But Pecky's running for the extract. He's getting the heck out of here. He knows that there's 2 of them and only 1 of him, and he would have to wipe both of them and keep the brick. Team Nadeshot Slep's gonna get here and get the steal, but he won't get the brick. Look at the
I
timers.
say
It's
keep the
60 seconds
brick,
on the game
though.
clock, 2 minutes on the decoding. Nobody's getting the
There's
brick
no
in
one's gonna
round
get
2.
the brick.
This does not happen very often, and now Slep wants a little bit more. That's some extra cash because he got the steal. You get a little bit of money just for getting the steal, so well worth it. And with the help of the attack helicopter over the top as the boss is getting active on the map, Slep's just going for kills. It's 38 seconds. There's nothing to lose. You're not getting out. He's able to get it. 1, 2,
What?
Slep team nade shot. Pick up a 2-piece.
No
And down go
way.
Team Liquid.
And clear. We got
Nice
greased
play
by
at the
that
end as
helicopter.
WKF do send their 3rd out of the map, protecting
No,
whatever
that's
loot they were able to
crazy.
grab.
We got
In
greased by the
meantime, which looks
helicopter.
like not very much.
Yeah, actually got
I mean,
greased. We got
insane
knocked
surge
like
coming through
3
here from Team
times because of the
Nature. Turns out
helicopter.
that surprise definitely
Oh,
was
if
gonna
that
happen, and now it's
helicopter
all
wasn't
down to
there,
how
we
much
would have
Slep
won.
can get
For
into his bag
sure,
before
we
that
would have
clock runs out.
won.
He is literally chasing the Sandman here, but unfortunately, that is going to be all she wrote as a round comes to an end.
Insane.
Is
They
gonna
still
be the
got a
one
lot
to
of points
survive it
for
all,
kills
but now
though.
it comes down to how much loot everybody was able to back on up here and actually get into those 3x3s, as well as the aggression.
Are they gonna win? Nah, Team Liquid's gonna
coming
win.
through
We
right
are
here at
Team
the end.
Liquid fans.
Yeah, it's certainly at the end. It was a little bit of a slow start yet again. FaZe had that very interesting play to kind of just snake in the grass, slither around the map until they were able to grab it. Once
That
they grabbed
was
it, though,
Team
they had no
Liquid
idea where
should
to
have
go.
won
That
that. We
indecision
actually got
caused them to
greased.
just kind of force something on the west side, thinking, well, I guess there's nobody over here. Let's play for this Dakota.
We
It's not a bad one,
unironically got
certainly,
greased.
but they didn't really have any power positions.
Is it?
But Eagle
Is
Geniuses
my
technically
thing
picked
going
up the
down
best team
in
as they-
die? No,
they
it's
pick up
not.
5 kill points,
Okay.
and that's going to be a ton of value for them.
I
Considering
was like, why is
nobody
it
got a
going
man
all
the brick. It's gonna
blocky?
be all up to the overall kill points, supply points, and therefore total squad points to determine who's at the top of the leaderboard. And Evil Genius is now in a pretty good spot, as they weren't horribly too far down the leaderboard. They pick up another 5. They're going to be in a pretty good spot on our overall, is my expectation. But DK, anything else you're seeing? I mean, not a ton of loot to go around. The only player
Wait,
on
how
the map
is what? How are
Yeah,
they
he
number
was the
one?
only
We
one to
Team
make his
Liquid
way
have
out of
more
here, but,
money
yeah,
and
Team
the
Liquid
same
super
amount of
aggressive
kills.
here as well, also securing themselves those 5 eliminations.
Is there something I
Also,
don't
how all the
understand?
Teams got to those elims. It was WKF Crab again with the hits coming through with the 4. You can see Loco and Slept also doing an absolutely phenomenal job there for their squads. And they're going to be quite happy with that, right? Because as we know, each elimination counts as a point. So it will definitely help when it comes down to those tiebreakers.
leopard
Of course, no
bomb.
surprise to see Mendo, Mumu, and Crab sitting right here where they are with regards to the damage. They've been absolutely relentless. So many chain fights breaking out around that mantle brick, looking to see who can steal it. But of course, Hansik, Mendo, and Beiki also bringing
Was
quite a
there
bit of
any way they
contribution
could have
here
just
for their
killed
respective teams,
the
right? Team Liquid is doing
helicopter?
so much here, but it is going to come down to those asset owners, as you mentioned it, right? Beiki being the only one that was able to extract, the only player to get some of that very valuable loot out of here, seeing that it was still an eco round.
Yeah, it was an eager, and I guess in the sense that you want to get your money up, I think kills would do better for you, though. I question the decision to not just play for the 1v2. Like, what did you have to lose? What did you have on you that you needed to get out of the lobby? It didn't look like a lot. It was like $500,000, but Crab was our MVP, picking up 4 kills for WKF yet again. This is the team that dominated in the first round, so to see them dominate again, just in terms of raw kills on the map, at the behest of this man right here, they're going to likely stay at the top of the leaderboard with everybody else slowly trying to catch them. And with nobody getting a brick, it's a solid play. But I go back to that moment. Pecky puts the brick in the decoding station. There's literally a 2-second difference between the game clock and that decoding station timer for the mana brick. Why not just play 1v2? I mean, you wait a second. You wait when you die, you know it's going to reset to 2 minutes. And so you wait until after the 2-minute timer, because if you die, then okay, no worries. Nobody gets the brick. But why not just play for the kills? You protected 500K. If you just got one of those kills, that's 800K and a kill point. Man, I'm questioning everything. I want to get into the minds of these players, but there's so much more to learn as well. Folks, we're going to head to a very short break. When we come back, it's going to be game number 3. This is truly an eco round. We're going to Tide Prison. It's going to get sneaky.
Yeah, I think you can, but it's more cost efficient just to shoot it down. Like, their aim can definitely shoot it down. My aim cannot shoot it down. I keep hitting the helicopter. Do you think there's gonna be finals, like music, like for Warfare? Like they have a whole like final ceremony? That'd be so cool. Like League of Legends does that, but I don't know if they do that. Do you Wolf? That's a very easy question. Wow, I'm so pro. Wall Breaker is 0 damn. Can't wait for IRL events they do in China. I don't know if they'll do it for global yet. Maybe soon though.
Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
Is about to take the first brick of the tournament. They're going to do it.
What goes around, comes around.
I'm not going to do very much, though. When you get barrel stuff, Skydie is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
There we go. And there it is.
No one getting the brick is actually like really dangerous now. Because now everyone has to burn Tempest at the same time.
It's groups B and D here in Americas, and we just had a mana brick round. where nobody got a mantle brick. It was hotly contested, but it took forever to get to the decoding station. So we just ran out of time, man. Too many steals. And at the end of the day, came down to a solo from Team Nadeshot. Slep picking up a 2-piece, which will push them into second place. Now is 6 kill points and 5 total supply points. Well done to Slep, making a bad situation into a pretty good one, frankly, winning out the map. Now 11 points with Team Liquid hot on their heels.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to do as much as they can here. And of course, as we know, we're
Not
going
cheering
into
for
our
Team
final league
Liquid.
round. This is where things could also still take quite a bit of a change, as we are going to be looking at a lot of that aggression. As you said also, very fittingly, right? It is going to be a very sneaky play coming through up into Tight Prison as we look to get the team set up for that Space City Rumble that is going in pretty hot. So, yeah, I'm really
There's
looking
gonna be
forward to seeing
more
how the teams are
Nox
gonna
and
change
like
it
a
up,
Raptor or
especially
something,
looking at
or
the
Hackla.
available operators they have right there for round number 3.
Maybe some smokes.
Yeah, as we talk about round number
Morse.
3 in Tide Prison, we always say the exact same thing.
Morse,
So we'll repeat
Nox, like
ourselves a little
Gizmo
bit today.
Mania.
You're gonna see double Noxes. You're gonna see hack.
They're
claws,
probably gonna-
okay?
Team
You're
Liquid's
see all
probably
the
gonna bring
sneaky
Gizmo
operators
here.
because Tide Prison is what I call a sneaky map. There's a lot of corridors, a lot of close spaces, and verticality inside that forces these teams to play a lot more, as
Gizmo,
public players say, a lot more
Morse.
ratty. You've got to play a little
Yeah,
ratty, catch your
Gizmo,
opponents by
Morse,
surprise,
Nox
and
probably.
hopefully find yourself some kills. This is a true eco round. There's no mana bricks. It's our last map without a mana brick. So as we take a look at some of the most popular operators, we oftentimes talk about Nox as being that heavy hitter. But what is a counter to Nox? Morse. So Morse has entered into the meta for this map as well. And Shepard is just an all-around solid engineering option for a map like this, especially with those sonic traps to hopefully win you some of those close quarters engagements.
Yeah, I think also if you bring his ulti into play, that also just really helps upset quite a few people. And as I think Tight Prison rather is the perfect map to do that on. So yeah, looking at our spawns here, of course, we did see the players there from Nadeshot and FaZe getting those T1 spawns in the first run. So moving into round number 3, it's going to be free reign for everybody else to see if they can maybe get their hands on those very sought after spawn locations.
Yeah, so this is an interesting one. I say this all the time. If you're a team that prioritizes mana bricks and then therefore prioritizing the win, which I would say that most teams do, or every team should, maybe is a good way to put it, you actually don't want the tier 1 spawns on Tide Prison because the only rule with spawns is that you can't get tier 1 spawns back to back. So if you get a tier 1 spawn here on Tide Prison, which is an eco round, you won't have a tier 1 spawn going into our first Space City map where there is a mandel brick. So that's kind of the age-old quandary. It's like, yes, tier 1 spawns are nice, even on a map like Tide Prison, but this is the one map where maybe you wouldn't want one. And so you can see that FaZe Clan and Team Nadeshot picking up a tier 1 spawn in Brackish is actually good news because they can't get the tier 1 spawn in Tide Prison. It goes both ways. So fun little adage there. But in general for Tide Prison, there's several goals. One, go get your kills, okay? I know it's going to play slow. I know it's going to play a little ratty, but you've got to put some kill points on the board. Why is WKF so far ahead of everybody else? They're outslaying the lobby right now, and it's well earned. So good job, gentlemen, at the top. Let's see if anybody can catch them on this map. But the other thing to play for is that, well, one, we didn't get an AWM in map 1, so the only team that was able to grab one was Evil Geniuses in map 2, but they died on the map. And I don't think anybody got out with it. Maybe that's why Pecky was able to grab.
I don't know who that is, but I'm not gonna lie. Hi, Kroham. Welcome.
So I have a feeling there is still not a single high caliber weapon on the map right now, and Tide Prison is your last chance to get one. You can go up to the GTI supply mission here on Tide Prison and get that either M82 or AWM Lapua ammo. So if you're able to get that, could be a difference maker on Space City. And of course, there is also an airdrop with some red loot that'll fall out of the sky.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what it is that we were just that Lord was trying to describe to us over there. Really interesting to look at what these players are doing. But of course, what's also going to be more interesting is us hopping straight into the action here for round number 3. You've been hyping it up quite a bit here, Goj. Let's see whether or not the teams can now live up to that hype. As there's going to be quite a bit up for grabs, and of course we're going to get to see who gets those early T1 spawns, and of course who potentially could then get those T1 spawns coming into the next map.
That's exactly right. Tide Prison. It's nuanced, it's different. I like the change of pace, kind of resets the game almost, resets the match with the way it plays. We've seen some teams, especially a team like Space Station Gaming, really
I'm just
pop off
curious
on a map like this.
why.
And, hey, some of our best
Like,
highlights from day 3 last week were from FaZe. So let's see if
why
they can
prison
repeat
is
history.
the eco
They do
round,
pull a northern spawn and
like
should be engaged with
format-wise.
Team Nate here shortly if they elect to do so. Down the south, you're going to see Evil Geniuses sprint down towards Warden's. Going to be playing for Team Liquid potentially, while BTH and WKF still analyze their positions and just try to loot up with what they can. But the first big bang out is going to be Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses, it looks like, as both have sprinted to what is a power position on the map, trying to play for this mission.
Well, let's see who's going to get their hands on it. Mumu is going to start things off here with a quick cheeky play. Unfortunately, shooting at the door doesn't do all too much. You're going to have to go through it to get the ball rolling here. As you can see, Mumu just super committed to getting through this
The
entryway.
window's getting
But already,
kicked.
it is going to be Team Liquid just waiting on the other side, so it is going to be very, very hard fought. But Hardstick, I like the setup, gathering some decent information here, trying to see if he can get that angle in over on towards the Geniuses, and up comes the sprays, nothing connecting just yet, but the heat is now just backing on.
Okay, good trade.
Breakouts we've seen in tight prison. Evil
Okay, let's go. 2v1, 1v1.
Huge from the backside. In a 1v2, turn to a 1v1 with player advantage, with health advantage. Just sticks it in almost scales, mantling over the desk.
Good try.
Gets the win. Evil Geniuses and Loco on the back line as Nox able to get the win over Team Liquid. What a start to tied prison. My goodness.
Oh my
Didn't even
goodness.
get a chance to talk about the operators because
They had
we had a big fight in our
by.
hands,
They
but
should have slowed
as much as I
down.
like to hype up
If they
Hackball, we don't see a
slowed down
single
after
Hackball
the
on this map
double
one,
pick,
which
they
means
might have been
I'm just a
able
little bit
to
behind on the meta. We saw the metas on
survive.
screen.
They did
Shepherd,
so
you're seeing that
well.
often. See Morris quite a bit. Double knocks at the top for BTH. I also see a Luna. Is that right?
That's okay. That means they just have to play for double mental break.
I think it ties in with their name, right? I mean, they're trying to test something out, I guess, coming into the Luna on a map as tight as this. It is going to be an interesting play, but yeah, I mean, Lord Joko can listen to a few songs now, a few of those records, as he can put them up and just enjoy the tunes that are going to be banging through over on that end. But just as we saw those early and quick
A
engagements
lot
coming
of
through,
Shepherd, which
things
is
are
kind of
starting to
interesting.
cool down a little bit, at least just temporarily, right? As the squads now find themselves with a lot more space in between themselves. I say that,
A lot of
and then
power,
of course
yeah.
FaZe, WKF, and Team Nadeshot, they are just up close.
Yeah,
and
they're
almost a
waiting
little
for
bit
the mission.
impersonal up towards that
There's nothing for them to do.
northwestern side.
Yeah, interesting to say the least. Two teams fighting over that GTI supply mission. Evil Geniuses on the back of Loco are going to be able to grab it here in about 2 minutes. You see
Doing
that
big work.
mission is
Good
what we're
luck.
talking about top middle. You can see it counting down. That's how you get your AWM or your M82. Airdrop that's preparing is how you get the reds, hopefully reds, and some golds. These days, that second airdrop is not that valuable with some of the more recent rules changes. But if you get lucky enough, still worth your time. Pulling a sonograph and picking up 2 mil almost in loot value now as BTH finds himself at 2.6. RNG going your way. You still can find some points. Evil Geniuses with the most certainly now at 3 mil after their team wipe that they just picked up. So kills are the most important thing on the map right now.
It's all about who is going to be the next one to get their hands a little bit of that action. I like the movements coming through from WKF. They making FaZe just kind of wonder a little bit as to what exactly is going on, because you were talking about the verticality coming into play here, and we can see quite of that now being evident right here as Dude quickly steps up and deals with a few of those scavs as we are looking onto a beautiful open safe there. I hope they got all the loot out of that, but now it is going to be send as Evil Geniuses is making sure there's nobody here to contest them as they start to head a little bit more over on towards that western side. Meanwhile, FaZe, though, they've just been super quiet here. And, I mean, I kind of understand it, right? You said it is going to be a lot more of that.
Oh yeah, I
rapid
just
play
said
coming to the forefront here as
asset
the teams
values
are
are
gonna be
rounded
looking to step
down,
on up.
and the 2
But,
mil
it's
value
gonna be a
is
pretty
1
interesting
point.
play as soon as
One
these
supply
teams
point.
really start to engage
They
with
just said in
each
the
other.
economy tips, but my model was covering it.
Here's a look at that map feed that we were talking about. Evil Genius is down in the south, not truly alone as BTH is
Evil
creeping their
Genius should
direction,
just
maybe looking
farm
to play
now.
for his
They just
mission,
farm the
maybe
people with
late
while
if
they have the
are.
boss.
And over on the top side, FaZe, technically in a bit of a sandwich between WKF and Team Nate Shot, but Crisp is pushed way up. And again, this map doesn't really show us that verticality that you know is on the north side of the map. So plenty of room for all of these teams as the rest of the folks are just looting up. Evil Genius is able to find a little 223K. We'll take what we get. Again, when you look at the left side of the profits, this is just loot that they're able to pick up on the map and value they're able to find.
FaZe is in this? Yeah,
Every 2
FaZe,
million
Team
is points, so
Liquid.
3.5 is still only
Evil
1 point. 4 million, another
Geniuses.
500K would put them at 2 points, and those points desperately matter. We're opening some safes. We're getting some loot. Evil Geniuses should walk out as the highest.
I think they removed the high value,
at this point.
the high value things. Like you can only find like reds of reds up to like 2 or 3 mil. Like you're not gonna find like a 10 mil red. That's 5 supply points. So I think they every red is under 3 mil.
Strategy at hand here, as you can see, the Evil Geniuses are going to be escorting the player through here, as Warden is going to be going for his stroll about. The BTH though coming in very, very passively. They might have a big brain strategy here, as this might have been the play all along, right? Get themselves situated, wait for EG to come past them, and then just rip into the side of them.
They're not gonna have the Luna for Space City, which is very dangerous. I think you need Luna for Space City, because there's so many angles you need to clear.
The rats lie in wait, hoping no one sees
Like
them.
Morse would have been a better pick here, unless they plan to use a double mice.
Evil Genius is the only team really moving right now. And to clear a pathway out of here. Push through, complete the mission. Clear out some NPCs. Loco is like, now why didn't I kill that guy? Oh yeah.
As his NPC.
A lot of slow pacing coming through here. You can see
You know, drum mag? Did I just see a drum mag?
Somewhere they're trying to get those
That's crazy.
They do find a bit of an indication over onto its student as Loco now gets ready for the full send here.
We can't see
anything, but doesn't need to.
Okay.
Just throw bullets down range. It connects, gets one load. He's able to clean it up when he can see. Ka, yet again, running away for BTH. Left alone. He's not the only player on the team alive, but he is alone. This is bad news because Evil Geniuses are on their way. They've got blood in the water. They're not going to let their prey escape. Koch is hoping he can get a trade here until his teammate can meet up with him and potentially pinch this. Not sure if that'll happen or not, but they're going to certainly try. Articuno, barrel stuff down.
Okay.
Nice and easy. And their third, BTH
W.
Lojako, is out of here. He's like, I can't win a 1v3 against this team. Now what? Hide in the corner. Try to trade one. I don't know, but the Wardens are fighting. You can hear it off in the distance. As Evil Geniuses, they do have a mission they need to do here shortly, but they want to make sure they don't get shot doing it.
Totally rooting for Team Liquid. Because our friends are on Team Liquid. That they died at. And at our second team we were cheering for, which is Evil Geniuses.
Is going to be sending it straight on forward. Oh, running in with the sonar. Gets the one. Gets the pickup as well. It is going to be the Fishes now having a bit of a swim down below, and this is now up to WKF. Just
they didn't have the thing.
Aggressive performance here today. Again, just doubling down, as they do find themselves quite a few opportunities.
If they had the scope, they would have seen him. Like, why would you burn the scope on Zero there? I feel like it's much better to have the scope for...
Thought that maybe they were hiding on that ledge there, but nope. They have swung away.
For this...
They are going to swing all the way around and potentially re-engage, not on the same team, but on the other side of the map. them swing around.
Yeah, they
maybe
were
towards
funny.
that
It was so
airdrop.
close.
Lands on the southeast side, basically right in front of where Slept is right now. You can see it on their screen.
It was out of
Maybe
utility.
even play for it. Now, Evil Genius is going to be on the other side. BTH is over here, but
Like 2JB with
one
a
member
jump
of
mag.
BTH hiding in the corner. So Evil Genius is focused on looting those
I
bodies.
feel like you just
I think
never
Team Nation might sneak
reload.
in and grab some loot out of that airdrop, and then maybe
The
make a play
scope
on
can
Evil
see
Geniuses if
underwater,
they're not
yeah.
careful. Look at this.
The cheater scope can see, can mark players underwater. So
Very interesting to see just how the teams
So,
are looking to approach
that
everything
is,
here. Of course,
what
it is going to
they
be Team
use.
Nate going it straight up for a little bit of that push here. We do see WKF also getting their hands on a little bit of that coffee. The Reds now starting to find their way onto the screen here as, well, the team's
certain builds per turn,
moving
you know,
up.
you can make your own build.
We do see Loco just playing with that ult, making sure that he goes unnoticed at least
They
for the
probably
time
know
being,
something
but
I don't,
Lord
so.
Joko is going to be stepping on through,
But if you're
running straight
playing
up
based on
into
normal
a
games,
little
I
bit
would
that
have
sonic
one person on your
paralysis that
team
makes
with the
things a
cheater
little bit more
scope,
challenging, not
so
to
that
be
if you ever
simply
need to go
attached,
check
but
the water, you have
I
one
mean, still
person.
Team Nate not really moving up all too much, right? Slep very removed from where Smile currently is, so they're going to have to be very tactful with how they look to play through this one. Meanwhile, it is going to be the side of the Evil Geniuses, just scanning the building, making sure that there is a good safe entry point, but they might look to change their mind here.
Yeah, this is interesting. They allowed Lord Jocko to get all the way back in and go for a res. He actually gets it. So BTH can be back to a duo. Now, they looted him pretty hard, I think, already. So I don't know what Kaw's going to be able to do for BTH. Hopefully, can find something or can drop him something. But
And there's a body in that
they are
room.
back as a duo. And also, Team Nature,
You'll
they picked
be
up
able
that
to,
airdrop. I don't think
like,
they pulled a
partial
single
kit
red
back
out of
up.
it. I don't know. The RNG they're getting right now in these airdrops is brutal. I didn't see anything pop up while they were looting it, and we were paying attention to the potential fight here with Evil Geniuses. So, not sure they found a ton of value. Yeah, they're not even at 1 million right now. So, really unlucky there. They got to the airdrop, kind of snuck it, and didn't really get paid too much for it. Mission is still on the map. Needs to be completed by Evil Geniuses, but WKF now joined a fight on the southern side, and I'm not sure Evil Geniuses know that they're there. Maybe they've got at least some intel. Articuno's moving pretty quick. If he overpeaks this, he could be cut down here. WKF, yep, Rats in the corner. They get one. They're not even getting trade, though. One goes down on both sides. Seabot's in trouble. Yes, one. Loco
No
solo
way.
again. Loco gonna have to be a hero. He's been a hero many a time, but both of his teammates pushed to yellow. One of which who's already been there. Evil Geniuses in deep
That's the
trouble. I
issue
told
with
you the
running
Rats were in.
Luna. Like, you can't scan out the rats
Doing a great
on
job to execute
space.
on that game plan. Well-placed Vironal to make sure that Loco can't come in and contest this res. He's going to have to back way off and play as a solo. Brutal for Evil Geniuses. No way. Not a
No way. Oh, he got him. Okay. I get that. That makes it about to make me happier.
mistake.
The rat didn't win.
Perfection? I don't know which way
The
you want to
rat
call it,
didn't win. Let's
Loco's
go.
alive.
Okay, I'll take the
Yeah, they
perfection play
could
because
not
if
run
Loco,
Luna
that
here.
was
They
an
needed a
absolutely
Morse.
insane
If they had a
position.
Morse, they would have
Almost
cleared
running
it.
yourself
My
into
team
a
knew they
wall
were
of pain,
there.
but instead is
He
gonna
just
be the one
couldn't
causing
scan
all
it,
of that.
so he saved
Absolutely
his scan.
beautiful comeback. It just shows you how powerful Nox is
I am
on a
very
map like this,
anti-rat.
right? When you're up close, personal, and you need to get the heck
If
out of
they
dodge
have a team
at a drop
comp
of a
death,
hat. Now,
because they would have had
it's gonna
Morse and it
be
was scanned
Carlo
all
that is
three,
gonna
and
be
they wouldn't have
sneaking
whites
through
on
the
like
prison,
that.
looking for a few angles. He might find himself a little bit of that Loco, but in the meantime, his teammate is going to be running lower and lower on that timer. So if he is looking to bring the team back up to 2, he has to shift his focus and try and pull that one off. Meanwhile, Loco is just going to be creeping closer and closer. So Loco could go for a
Facts.
big old cleanup here.
Go for a cleanup the third
I mean,
time.
season
Oh,
6 was different though.
my
Yeah, let's go.
goodness.
No
I
rats.
would say somebody get this
Goodbye,
man a
rats.
contract, but he's already got one with Evil
WT
Geniuses.
Rick.
My goodness, what a pickup for this roster. Loco is going nuclear. 6 kills. Winning 1v1s, winning
Brother's
positions he has
locked
no
in.
business winning.
He's pissed that he
He's
got
got
ratted
more
on.
to put out onto the table here.
That there's no way he can
Lay out all
res.
your cards,
Yeah,
Loco.
there's
What else
actually
do you
no
have
way
in
he
your
can
bag,
res.
my friend?
They're just
We're
sitting
at
on
3
his
minutes the
body.
clock. We need some more.
Ooh. All right, things about to get interesting yet again as WKF and
Ah,
Loco are here side by side.
Nate
You can
Shot
see
is
the
in
base there
a
from
not
Team
a good
Nate Shot
spot.
now looking to move in as well, and this is where Loco is going to try and stay absolutely invisible. It's going to be a pretty tall order, not an easy one to accomplish at this point. But maybe it pans out for them because he Crab, staring down the barrel of the players right there in front of him.
I told you the rats are in, man. Crab's on like 20% or less, and now Sudoku's getting a bit of revenge on his teammates. Diogod cleaning up C-bots. Smile down below. Team Nade Shot now swinging on WKF, and they're getting traded out. What is happening? FaZe third partying this engagement? Or is it Team Nade Shot? I can't tell, but Loco's trying to get a piece of it. He's down to a single HP and able to heal up, and here comes WKF getting behind the door. Can he win this too? No, finally!
No, that was
Loco
very
finally falls, but
close.
he found so much value on the map, and into the last 2 minutes, we got more engagements at our hands. FaZe gonna swing on this engagement here and hopefully take down the last remaining member of Team Nade Shot. Yes, no problem with the trade.
Nice, good
Yes,
job.
see you later.
Good trade.
Absolute sweats, right? That is what we were hoping for to see happen here on Tide Prison. Now it is going to be up to Peiki to see if he can continue with the absolute carnage that we've been
that
witness to
guy's
so far.
shy.
A quick push up the side is going to bring him just that ever
He's
much
1
closer, but
HP
of course,
from
quick reactions
the
going
other
through
thing.
from the side there of FaZe as well. They want to see if they can double down.
Raven.
Sudoku in a beautiful setup here. They could maybe even bring back their sword, and they are now just laying down the defenses. But
Hey,
Becky
yo.
on the money,
Oh
though.
my goodness.
Really good shots here to isolate their ones. I don't know if necessarily that was the right challenge from FaZe. Diogod wasn't there to play with him. It's a 2v1.
Array should have
You have to
waited.
chow that
Yeah.
together. Maybe some
Yeah, he
ego,
should have
some
played
confidence
numbers
or
there.
otherwise, but Pecky
I
makes
don't
it
know
pay.
why you ran right
WKF
Raven.
continue to find a ton of kills. Well placed nade though from Diogod.
'Cause he was
to get a
separated by
huge advantage in this
Warden.
engagement if he can get there in time. Doesn't always mean you're gonna win, and it looks like, oh my gosh.
Oh,
What a bounce from the
NT.
disc there, Nox. Pecky
Walked
wins
in.
yet again another engagement.
I don't
WKF.
think he can get out.
I'm not sure if they're the big winners. I
He
think
just-
it might be Evil Geniuses because of Loco's heroics, but they had another great round, picked up several kills in this rep.
They
and
can't even
spent the last 60
res. I
seconds
mean,
or
if
so
you
just trying to throw
res, you
anything in the
get.
safe box that they can.
Oh, but their safe boxes
I
might
mean,
be
you gotta
full
give it up,
already.
though, to,
Yeah, he's
Nox.
just gonna try to get all the
Nox,
tags in. Because I was like,
Tide
he
Prison
still has 2
It
teammates he
is a
can res.
match made
But
in
if they're
heaven
full,
as
then it's
both
like,
players
there's
that
like
you
no
can see
value.
Whooping it up here today. Rocking up with those Noxes. Becky just making sure that everybody knows that he is the only one alive on this map, coming through with the reindeer. Absolutely clutch play from
He left his
WKF. I
headphones.
said
But
it before and I'll say it
Mama
again.
Meg, how are
I
you?
really like what WKF are doing here. They are pressing not only the W key forever, they are pushing everything to its limits here. And that is exactly what we want to see, right? Teams playing for that comeback story, and I think
It would be
WKF,
hella
they kind of
funny.
righting that
Wait,
for themselves right here.
didn't WKF
this is
rat
the
Evil
start they needed in
Geniuses?
the competition. I said that in Zero Jam, but they had to keep up the pace. And then they
No.
finished up in Brackish in a pretty good spot
Wait a
as well. And I said that in
minute.
Brackish, and now they got to keep up the pace.
That
It's another
doesn't
eco
match
round,
the
but they
video
have a
night
banger map.
game.
But speaking of a banger map, my goodness, Evil Genius to pick up 8 kills.
Yeah, Luca
1.2 million
walked
assets,
in.
folks. That is a ton of cash going their way. Every kill point, guess what? Yes, that's a point on the leaderboard, but it's also 800K. That's 6.4 mil from the kills alone, folks. Go for the kills. Evil Geniuses picking up nearly 8 mil in total between all of their resources.
Like, isn't that I don't understand? Like, Team Nade Shot has more value than Team Liquid. But why is Team Nade Shot number 5?
From Evil Geniuses. Yet again, WKF proving all the haters wrong, man. They can slay out, and they're doing that today. But Loco stands tall at the top with 6 of his own.
Yeah, Loco just being so relaxed, so chill, even amidst all the chaos and carnage that he was creating. He was
Yeah,
able to
Loco
wipe the
walked
equivalent
in.
of 2 other squads as a solo. Absolute insanity, but of course, no surprise to see that damage being there for Loco and for Peiki, both just absolutely cramming everything that they could find.
Hello,
And a
Panda.
very,
How are
very
you?
satisfying Tight Prison coming through here, but of course our big assist coming through here from the rest of the Evil Geniuses team. As you can see, Articuno, Mumu making sure that Loco can just, well, stay true to his name, right? Go absolutely crazy in this round and just lock it all in. Very strong contributions across the board, but the top assets owners is going to be BTH, Launch Draco, though, coming through with 1.2 mil in the box. And of course, we do see C-Bots as well as Peiki in there as well for WKF. So a pretty strong finish overall for WKF.
Yeah, again, I continue to tip my hat to him, but this man right here put on a show for us, and he put on a show for us last week as well. Loco is one of the top players in the game. He's able to slay out against the best of the best, and he's continuing to prove why he got picked up by this roster. This is a strong team that is still looking for a breakout map, and this was the beginning of potentially their breakout in this match. So this next Mana Brick round, I think, DK, is really going to dictate a lot, because it'll be the first time we see a team with a Mana Brick hopefully going into round number 4. A fun start, folks, and as a quick reminder, you can drop a follow on all major socials here with Delta Force. The Delta Force Rise series is well underway at this point. We got several more weeks to go, so drop a follow on all major socials with our main channels and also
How are
our
you?
esports channels. There's a lot of info out there about everything you need to know about that Rise series. And those Twitch panels down below, they can take you straight to the Delta Force Rise series website, so you can learn more about this incredible pro league. Folks, we're going to head to a very short break. When we come back, Space City, and hopefully our first Mana Brick going to be joining us on the leaderboard, so you're not going to want to miss it. Two members, now the odds are in their favor, 2v1. Everything getting spammed away, and MT getting a little solo. Hang on a second, NL. Look at that, it's an absolute
Good as can get. That's good. Turning 50 in a week. Happy birthday. Are you gonna do anything? Good dinner and whiskey with family and friends. Enjoy. Hello, Pride. How are you?
Hi, I am I am the CEO of BTH Esports. Delta Force was not part of our plans on BTH Esports, but everything changed when the players gave us the great honor to representing them. It's difficult to remember, but we clearly remember that people were already talking about it constantly on Discord chat servers before we see trailers and content, that things. Okay, Nico, Caja in the game, is the closest person to the team, to the organization. He always part of BTH in the staff, now it's a player. Stalker, Joaquin, he's
You don't want to do this essay anymore? Unlike you.
Me and Nico, we are from Argentina. He told me that
Shrimpling Greenie, W Namis.
Finally, we have Tute. He says
Hello,
he's a
Struggler.
player
How
from
are
the
you?
community
Welcome,
who wants
welcome.
to try competitive play and see how far he could go. They started out just playing together over time, but a few months ago they became much closer and began participating in professional tournaments together. Once they mentioned that the team possessed clean communication and shared goals, which really stands out when they play. Their decision making is done as an unit, and they maintain steady communication and strategy on every single map. Across the years, I learned working on BTH and other projects. You don't need to own the most expensive computer equipment or wear a famous jersey to qualify for a major tournament. Those materials benefits will come naturally as a result of hard work.
Double fried fries is really yummy. And they're very crispy.
Handle bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now.
But they have to be like super thin. It's like a French cuisine. Like French cooking technique.
Defend the area.
I forgot what it's called.
What goes around comes around.
Not gonna do very much though. You get barrel stuff. Steiny is getting aggressive.
See what I did there? You ain't seen nothing yet.
Let's knock them off their feet.
Yeah, it's just more crispy, I like. It's less of the... It's less of, what do you call it? The potato softness inside is more of the crispy outside. Because they're super thin, so there's pretty much nothing inside. And it's super yummy.
Teams fought over it, but nobody was able to secure it.
And then you usually dip it in like garlic butter or something.
Let's see what the leaderboard looks like
with your
as we go
steak.
into this
It's
round
like
number
steak
4,
frites.
though. W Key Forever still at the top by a pretty dynamic margin, 27 total points, but Evil Genius is now at 13 kill points of their own with 8 in the last game. DK, they do jump up 20.
Yep, 20 is definitely going to be a very comfortable position for them to be in, especially as you've said it, right? The metal
Does
bricks are
make
going to
you
come
hungry?
out to
Nom,
play
nom, nom, nom.
again. So we'll see if anybody is going to be able to get their hands on that. We've seen the Evil Geniuses get their hands on a decoy.
Okay, Spacey, this is where they need to lock in. Team Liquid need to lock in here. No one has an arm, right? No, actually, no one has an arm and no one has a metal brick. So this is very winnable. They need to win the next 2 of the 3 maps. Everyone has 2 Tempests, so if they... The issue before was that if you got the brick, you don't have to burn your Tempest early. But now that with no one with a brick, everyone's gonna burn the Tempest very soon. So it's probably gonna be the first 2 rounds. Space City is gonna be... Those first 2 rounds are gonna be with Tempest, and then second, and then the last round is not Tempest.
You've also got the ability to see through smoke, and then of course Tempest is the most play operator on meta brick rounds because of that emergency
makes a lot of
evasion device.
sense.
When you throw down the tether, use the ult, and you swing forward to either grab the brick off spawn or the decoding station and be able to zip all the way back to
They
where you
need
lost it, or even if you
wall
die in the
smoke.
process, you're able to get that self-res and get back to where you started.
Yeah, because
It's
you're playing for the brick.
unbelievably valuable. Quick
Like
look
if
at
you're
the
playing
spawns there.
squad fill,
Prepare
it's
for
like
Space
useless.
City.
But
I am
if you
very
need
excited to see
protection
where our players
to
spawn
grab the
in
bricks,
and
then
who's able
is
to get
really
first
good.
blood. And of course, who goes for the mana brick off rip? We'll see those kits, we'll see those operators in a second, but we've got one more giveaway for you all, folks, before we jump into round 4. Oh, wait, looks like we'll do it a little bit later. I gotcha. Pay attention when that code appears on screen a little bit later. We'll make sure to showcase it for you so you can get some more rewards. I've got plenty more coming your way, all right? So stay tuned as we jump straight into the action. It looks like BTH
You
is
have
on
it
Westgate, and they
open.
are able to make it through.
Yeah, good start here for them. And they're able
Team
to squeeze
Liquid.
through just very narrowly as
I'm a big
WKF
fan.
just applying a lot of pressure
They
to
got
them,
this.
but
They just need to lock in this game. This game and next game.
Team
Or
Liquid
this game and last
already
game.
up into the center, just waiting for that metal brick to pop. So talk about competition and contention. There is going to be a whole lot of that coming on through here. But only 2 teams not to move into that middle position just yet. We can see it being the Evil Geniuses and, of course, WKF all the way up towards that northwestern side. Mandelbrake about to come into play. So now it is going to be that mad dash. You can see there are so many Tempers out on the floor here, but only half the lobby decided to go for Tempest, as they are potentially considering this, making it all the way over onto round number 6 or 7. So
That's
curious to see how
smart.
these teams are going to approach this. But for the time being, it is going to be Team Nate
So they're planning to not get the brick this turn and get the 2 next bricks.
Quick look at the operators and what these teams brought in. Nobody feeling super confident enough to bring in their golds this early because, well, they've got to use purples for round 4. We do got some gold ammo, and it hits like a truck. Chris able to shoot some shots down range using that gold ammo to make sure they get that knock, and hopefully the confirm as they get really aggressive. Quick look at the operators, though. Worth shouting out that only 3 of our teams are investing a Tempest in our first Space City round. We do know that we are going at minimum to round 5 and likely 6 or 7. Cue the chat. But with that in mind, there's more room to use these Tempests in rounds 5 and 6, and that's where some of our teams are electing to keep them.
Yep. We're going to try and play a little bit more of a strategic play here. But let's see how this is going to work out, as Toot is going to be going in for that pickup, trying to bring the team back on their feet, though. Full 3-piece could be quite handy right here, but looking at the total scores, WKF, they are having an absolute glorious day. 28 total points on the board. All they need is a back-to-back Mandelbrake to ensure that they finish
They got
quite
this.
strong here at the end of the day.
M7. They're locking in.
See the teams now continuing to look to apply that pressure. Nobody has yet picked up any kind of Mandelbrakes so far, and it's still anybody's play at this point, right? Of course, the last time we seen a lot of these teams out here, e.g., they were the first team to get their hand on that Mandelbrake. So curious to see if that is going to be the same approach that they might be opting to
How
play
are
for
they
here, as
still
we can
running?
see them
Because
very far
the
up
thing is
towards that
W
northern
key
side,
and
of course.
they're like
Looking at the other teams that we have
slow
to play here,
walking. Am I just
none of them
hating?
really got their hands
I
on
might
that
just be a
first
hater.
brick, so there is going to be a
Like
big
you
opening
cannot
here for either
you
of
an
us.
ARG
One's already
name?
situated
Do that?
around. Apply the pressure to move in and
Slow
to sag.
walking
Now, what
up the ramp.
It's a waiting game at this point. Team Nadeshot in the best position by a mile to get the brick off spawn. But they're not rushing things. They do have a power position, so they'd like to see if anybody else would play for the brick that they can potentially cut down and therefore
I
get some
think
points.
Team Liquid is
Use
just
these power
playing to try to
positions where you
grief as
can.
many people as they can this game.
Bay's the only team with a player down. That's going to be Snows, who was looking down at the decoding, or sorry, at the spawn for the brick. And with that, Snows down, not going to likely be rezzed. Bays is at a pretty severe disadvantage. Many of our players have a pretty good idea of where their opponents are at. See Pecky here waiting as he sees the barrel just peek, hoping this player will peek the corner as well. Does not look like Ka's going to be doing that anytime soon. So waiting, game continues. And this reminds me of game 2. This reminds me of a slow-paced play as finally Pecking getting aggressive here. Could have potentially had 2 if he was able to swing up in time, but he was not. 1 down inside of BTH. An aggressive stance from
They
WKF.
routed
That's what they've been
someone.
doing. WK forever,
I think
finally living
their
up to the
strat
namesake
is to
today.
rat one
Certainly
and then they hard
living up
push.
to the namesake as they continue to hunt down BTH and get indoors.
Again, that's the exact kind of pacing that we need to see here from them, and I like the showing of aggression coming through with the first confirmation as Guy is going to be picked on up. But where can they take this to next? A quick pullback there coming through from Bakey, just making sure that they don't overextend their welcome. Meanwhile, Team Nadeshot trying to pick it up, but they are playing a very spread out position here. As you can see, Crisp, Slip, quite close to each other, but we still need to see Sleep, or rather Smile.
Like they can't,
moving
like
to
Team
creep up
Liquid can't
and
grab
join the rest of
the
these
brick
teams,
because
just
they
trying
don't have a
to fortify
Tempest.
the overall
They
position
have
they're
to
looking
let
play out
someone
here.
else
Meanwhile,
put the brick in.
WKF
That's why they're just
focused out
sitting and
here
holding.
at the buoyancy lab, looking for angles, but a quick look back at that peak. Boom,
No
out
way.
it goes. You said Bakey was waiting for somebody to come around that corner. He asked and he got delivered.
That is hilarious. He was so patient that we ran out of patience on main screen just to watch him hold that peak, but he finally got paid for it. That's so funny. And BTH isn't electing to go back for that yet because Pecky swung on it. Now, Momo is just kind of throwing bullets down range, making Team Nadeshot think twice about their position, but it's actually FaZe maybe going to be going for the brick finally. Like, Team Nature has been playing so patient. He might be under, actually. But Team Nature has been playing so
Team Liquid could
patient
probably
'cause
make
they
a
felt like they were in
play
a power position. They
on the
backed off of
centrifuge
that
team.
position. They can still look at the decoding station quite easily, but here we go. Team Liquid here, the res coming through. It's going to be on yellow time. It's going to take some time. And that toxic ult does land and connect on a couple of these players. One goes down, more util follows. Mindo comes in. wipes them
Okay,
all up,
good
BTH
play,
out of
good
this line.
play. Huge play.
Showing off
Let's
aggression going
go.
through. Unfortunately, that T1 spawn not paying off here.
You see that? That was perfect. Maui into a double swing.
That is our first squad getting taken out of here. BDH currently sitting with only 3 points on the board. If they
A
want to
perfect play. W Team Liquid.
today, they're going to have to double down and bring it in a lot more. We do see Sidoka also picking up a few of those reds, the claw coming out as well. So a good find as, I mean, he's literally just above where we see that mantle break, and Brosh is going for a loot sesh. I like that.
What's with the
I think
pre-fire? Because they
of
don't
all the
see
reds
it.
in the
They're
game,
just pre-firing the
there's
angle.
another one.
You normally don't do
this
that,
is proving my point.
but
Of
they're
all the
playing
reds
Pro
in the
League,
game,
so
I have
they
found
can't.
by
Like, they'd
far
rather
the most
spend the
fossils.
money
I
to
have
clear
found
that angle
so many of these damn
than to
fossils
peek
in
it and
Pokemon,
instantly
so
die, you know?
The game is also proving that even in the tournament server, there's a lot of fossils around the map. That's 2 for the same team. That's ridiculous. But here comes Evil Genius. They have elected to move up and get engaged around this mana brick. They're like, my goodness, nobody's grabbed it yet? What's going on over here? Can we just walk up and steal it? Maybe. It's possible. Yeah. I think Team Nadeshot also, like, because they had a power position here, or felt like they had a pretty good position, they want to overlook the decoding station and stall this out. This isn't very
We
interesting.
brought
I
a
don't know if they're going this
Tempest,
deep. Muamua's actually going to go for it. He's using Tempest
but
ult off cooldown now, so gonna make a play for this decoding station. Should see Team Nadeshot take a shot here. Are we gonna let this go for free? No. Wow, that's crazy. All right, well, Mua's got it, but my point still stands. I think Team Nadeshot is content with other teams not getting the brick. Remember, they picked up 10 points. They can stall this thing out. People still don't get bricks. I mean, that's a lot of points that other teams aren't getting when they're at a perfect 10 thus far.
I mean, that was 8 minutes that we had to wait for that brick to get picked up, right? So the team's definitely shifting their focus quite a bit here. But I like this position going through from Team Nadeshot. Nice vantage point over on towards that bridge. But WKF, though, not going to be found out in it just yet. Instead, they are going to look to respond in kind. But now it's going to be the Evil Geniuses feeling quite a bit of pressure out of here, as WKF really poking and prodding into the side of them. And still, we are looking at that mantle break that is just lying out there in the open. Somebody has to pick it up. But again, funnily enough, EG was the first team again to get their hands on that mantle break. It's all now down to whether or not they can actually get that decode going and out in the open. Very exposed.
oh, he got stuck in the animation. That's so unlucky.
That's a huge pickup for a couple of reasons. One, he actually got the pickup on Muamua, who is going for the res, which means he's actually credited the kill. Articuno finally went down to yellow, and so the kill should go over to WKF, who took down Articuno originally. And now Evil Genius, who were in a really good spot on the leaderboard and were working their way up. Now we're down to a solo. And both those bodies are wide out in the open. The only way you're getting those is if somebody's playing the decoding station. If we have 2 maps where nobody gets the mantle brick, I'm going to crash out on X, all right? Watch out for some of my tweets later, because what a wild circumstance here with week 2.
Yeah, this is not the kind of approach that we were
And
expecting.
no one's putting it in. But that's okay though. Like, Team Liquid doesn't care if it goes in, because they still have a Tempest, right? The 3 teams with the Tempest need to play for this brick. Because if they don't play for this brick, they're cooked. It's 100 meters. I think it's less than 100 now. It might be 80. Maybe 100? No, I think it's still 100. It used to be 150. But now it's like 100. 80 or 100. I don't remember.
Smile has got to read.
Yeah, on release it was like really long.
But also has got to read that.
But yeah, Team Liquid is in a good spot right now, because they don't really care, because they have their Tempest for next game. Like, having the Tempest is so important.
I do believe Diogata had Tempest ult procced. And off-screen, look, Smile was holding the angle on WKF. He finds it from a distance. That's another full cleanup, too. Team Nate Shot going big in a big way, picking up another kill point for themselves, weakening WKF, but also grabbing the brick. Nice job from the gentleman.
Well, now it's all down to see what the teams are going to be looking to do here. It does seem like they are going into Black Chamber to get this decode started. Nice little bit of an interior setup here. But it's all going to be down to how the team.
Okay, I think Team Liquid is going to probably try to grief this brick.
As you can see, there's essentially just a little bit over 2 minutes difference between that decoding time and of course.
How many rounds? 7. 7
Time.
rounds.
So whatever the teams are looking to do here, they're going to have to be really quick about it. If not,
I think they're going to try to grief this brick. They grief this brick, they're in a really good spot. And I get free my kills.
Might it happen again? I don't hope so, but we'll see.
I highly, highly doubt it, especially because this was planted so late. There's really only one thing you can do on the map. Like, you're not extracting right now. He's picking up a couple more reds, but, like, the only thing you care about is kills and the mana brick. To get either of those, you should go towards the mana brick. It's pretty simple stuff here, folks. I know our players are calculating more than just that, but you can even see the total score on the left of how many points some of these teams have. Like, if you're FaZe, if you're, you know, even Team Liquid, you got a lot of ground to make up WKF. You got to be playing for these bricks, and that's exactly what Team Liquid's doing. They're working their way slowly through the map, slowly through buoyancy, and they'll move over, hopefully, to the chamber, but they want to clear their pathway first. They're not in a rush.
That chamber's far though.
But it's funny.
Like with their pathing,
should be in a
if
rush.
they're
Now,
going
sometimes when you're
through
rushing scam, you
CEO,
die to rats like in Tide Prison. But on this map, you know, 2.5 minutes on the clock.
Tempest Downs now has to be a full kill. Like the knock done, it doesn't count from the knock. It counts from the actual like kill. Like if they
Running
yellow.
out of daylight. So I think the name of the game for some of these other teams is just try to steal it to just hope nobody gets it again.
It's like 5 out of the 6 teams are still alive with 5 minutes left.
Do with the Mandel break is going to be WKF, right? They could really benefit off getting their hands on that successful decode. But it does seem like the teams are more interested in going all the way to
Every
round
team get benefit
7,
of a
right?
successful
Because,
decode.
I mean, we are guaranteed to go into round number 5. If this Mandel brick decode goes through,
There's just a guy standing here, defending
They are here
managers.
for those kills, right? They want to get aggressive. They want to try and fight it out against each other. And at some point, they're going to have to maybe change up that approach.
Here we go. Pecky was thinking about it, but unfortunately has to burn the Tempest ult and won't be able to use it for the steal now.
He won't be able to get it.
This has been the difference maker for the WKF roster. And the player with the most individual frags, making big hero plays. He's going to try to make one now. Smoke up. He finds him through the smoke, but he can't stick it. Crab is able to steal it away. I thought Team Nation just chow that, just ego it. Hold down
Okay,
the
just
trigger
take it
through
on one
the
more.
utility, and you
Yes,
get that
they
knock
just
and maybe
need
stop steal, but no,
that.
WKF get it now.
They just need to
Here's
get
the
one.
problem, DK. I can't stress this enough. Look at our game clock, man.
No, they is trying to grieve
The
it.
next steal
Or
puts us at 3
the
minutes.
Team
You
Liquid's
gotta do
trying to
it in the
grieve
next
it.
15 seconds. That's what Crisp is doing. Just barely putting it still within range. And the next steal will do it at 2.5. It's a numbers game, Mason, and it's real tight.
These teams are doing a whole lot of math here.
They just
trying to
need
time
one more person to
the
grieve
steal
it,
get
and
to
then it'll be
perfection.
okay.
But if nobody gets this one, if nobody takes it within the next
They need
20
to make their
seconds,
place in, though.
Again, we will see another round with not a single Mandel brick being decoded. Absolute insanity coming through here. So let's see who's going to be the brave soul to dare and venture forward here as the clock is slowly ticking away. We've got 5 seconds on the clock. If no one grabs it now, it is it, right? It is going to be Team Nature having to defend that decoding all the way to its finish.
They're just waiting for this team, for anyone to start fighting.
It's nobody.
Taze has to start the fight, because they
You come
only
over
had
here and
9
get a
points.
steal just to prevent somebody getting the brick. There's Loco. He's within range. He's going to move this way eventually. Team Nadeshot now know that their win condition relies on Not a single person even starting that steal. Somebody gets onto that steal and resets it. Even if they can immediately retake it, even if they can immediately kill them, it's too late. Nobody gets the brick. They have to stick to this decoding station, and if a smoke goes up, they better run straight through, close their eyes, and hold down the trigger, because
oh no, we burned all our util.
Nice pickup there on Pecky, yet again burning the Tempest ult. Stuffed at the line. Team Nate Shot still holding it.
No, they're pushing too
soon. And the
soon.
crew are starting to make a move from the top ropes.
This is so, like, dangerous. I am, like, stressed. They're like 5 teams. 5 teams are still alive with a minute left. I need you to play. The push again. Okay. Let's go. Good wipe. Good wipe. Okay, okay. Now it's time to grease the brick. Grease the brick. Grease the brick. No. He didn't get it.
I told you, Team Nate Shot, they know the win condition.
It's okay. Team Liquid's still here. Team Liquid is still here.
Team Nate Shot, they're out of here. Nobody gets the brick yet again. So what is left but kills, and what is left but Mindo? Kill after kill goes to Team Liquid, and Mindo now weak on his own back feet. The only thing they can do is just grab the brick for the extra cash.
Okay, 2v1. 2v1. Wonderful.
Boy has his back. We've only lost Hotsick, but only 27 seconds. And through all the chaos, Loco is a solo and a 1v2 to wrap up this weird and wacky Space City map. What a turn of events, folks.
Team's definitely giving us one of those hold my popcorn and look at this move days here today, as so much is just happening all across the board. The teams
he didn't finish Aaron. W play.
We've seen so far in all the previous
okay, that's really good for Team Liquid. That's a good play from Team Liquid. They timed it perfectly. I was so stressed. I would have pushed so much sooner, and then we would have died.
That is probably the most kind of just
good job.
kicking their heels is going to be Team Nate Shot, right? They came so close to holding on to that Mandel Brick decode, but unfortunately just so much pressure had developed around that position, and unfortunately from what we saw, they did lose out on that. But
let's go. Best
that is going to be
team.
walking away smiling here with 7 kill points to their name, a decent chunk of assets as well, but the damage also just raking in 1,200, almost getting up to 1,300 damage.
Yeah, they timed it perfectly. They didn't let the pressure get to them. I 100.
Weak players at the end there, so a great shout out to Team Liquid, bringing in a ton of value on a map where nobody else was really able to find much. It only came down to kills because nobody got a mana brick. So Mindo picks up 6. I told you he was going crazy.
Getting 6
kills
kills.
for Mindo is a huge
That was a lot in
find
that.
Pecky up there near the top at 3 himself. Evil Genius's Loco finds 3 of his own. So it's going to be WKF still probably at the top of the leaderboard because nobody has a brick, but Team Liquid slowly chipping away at that early buffer that WKF put.
No, I'm the team that
really tells the story
with the brick planted. You're pissed.
And just stayed on
Already got all of the brick.
Doing a lot of work for his
Stop.
Boy definitely contributing alongside the rest of
Who's
the team
reporting
here.
in esports?
So Team Liquid, a very shared approach, right, that they brought out onto this round, looking to kind of just double down on everything that they could find here. And of course, we do see quite a few of those assets being earned here as well. Sudoka picking up 2.1 mil with Mr. Diogard coming through on 811k. It's quite a bit of a fall off, but you know, it's kind of to be expected. But it's going to be none other than Mendo to take our MVP award with those 6
Let's
skill
go.
points,
Nice job,
900
Mendo.
damage exactly, 100k assets exactly, and of course only that 1 assist being brought through as well. So a very strong play from the side there of Team Liquid.
Yeah, and I do want to bring up a small point here. Reminder that every kill that these players get is $50 for their name. So Mindo's racking it up right now. Folks, you got to drop a follow on all major socials. We got all the social medias out there with Delta Force. Go check
Get
them
ready.
out.
They're
We've got
going
a
to
lot
drop
of
the code.
cool updates about the game. Yes, on the main channels, but also updates around the Rise series, schedules, rosters, all that good stuff. Stay in tune. Now, DK, before we head to the break, I do have to remind chat that I said I was going to crash out on X because still we finished map 4 and nobody has a battle brick. What is happening with the Delta Force Rise series in week 2? It's getting more and more competitive, and in that competitive nature, these teams are striking each other down and no one can get a mana brick. It may come down to squad points here, DK. And the only thing I can think of while I'm crashing out is that some of the teams in Group A are shaking their fists in the sky and celebrating because these are points that teams are not getting. Every mana brick is a point in our group stage leaderboard as well, and they're competing against the other groups. This is good news if you're in Groups A or C, DK.
Yeah, I mean, squad points count for today, right? Only for today. It is going to be where you finish on the leaderboard that is going to determine how many of those points you are going to be picking up. And see that we are getting mana bricks being denied. I don't see a team necessarily picking up 10 points today.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could see a team still double brick. We could see a closeout in 6. I think we're going to 7, folks. But before we get to 7, we got to play map 5. Going to map 5 next. It's going to be Space City. You're not going to want to miss it. Let's head back to a very short break.
Did you see the new Uluru skin? I don't think so. Cause it's on an older patch, so they're not gonna have the new skins. I also don't know if skins are allowed. I think everyone's just using default skins. You can only have like gun skins and gun buddies. And you can't like change the color of your character. Like you can't use the Arcanite skin or something, you know? Ah, they did so well. I would say they're the winners of that map. I was stressing. They made their play at like 1 minute left. With double headshot while that guy's jumping is insane. Finish assembling? Wait, show me, I wanna see. Is it like the mouse pad? I want wood. Which operator gives a teammate a bus? That toxic. As their passive.
We got the mandel bricks. Find and stop them. Mandel bricks decoded. Nice work, operator.
The time to strike is now. Do not let me down, operator.
Decoding has begun. Defend the area.
What goes around, comes around.
There's simply too many angles, I think. If you play for that decode spot, if they played for a different decode spot, it might have been easier to hold. But there's just like, what, 4 angles? 5 angles? 5 different, like, directions yet that you can get challenged from? Nah, there's no way. W pose.
Welcome back, Delta Force Rise series. It's week 2, day
W
1. We
dollars.
just wrapped up game 4 of the matchup between groups B and D here at the Americas region, and still not a team with a brick. We've played 4 games. We've had 2 mana brick rounds, and both ran out of time before anybody could capture a mana brick. It's the first time I've ever seen it, especially in the Americas region. No, EMEA have had their troubles getting their bricks, but let's take a look at the leaderboard because I talked about Team Liquid and Evil Geniuses slowly creeping
This
their
is
way
good
up.
though. They're at
Seventy
like
Key
Team
Forever is holding
Liquid
on
is
to a
in a really good
commanding
spot now
lead when it
because
comes
they
to
didn't
spawn points,
use
'cause nobody has a
their
brick yet, TK.
Tempest. Evil
Yeah, I mean,
Geniuses
if
used the
that's the case, and if
Tempest.
that's going to be the play
FaZe
for the
used the
rest of the day,
Tempest, and one other
WKF,
team
they're
used the
gonna be smiling
Tempest.
because they have the most on the board and nobody is looking to contest them. I mean, Evil Geniuses, yes, they are still 9 away. So if they can find a little bit of that magic coming into round number 5,
If they get
it
a
would
brick,
be
is they're going to be in
amazing.
a
But
really
of
good
course,
spot.
so far, everything that we've witnessed so far today is stuff that we've not really seen before. So I like where the teams are taking this to
And
some
do the
extent.
pose,
Of
you do
course,
the faker
we'd love to
silent
see
pose.
things that we know, right? Like Mandelbricks
That
coming
here?
out, being decoded, and actually teams being able to walk away with those. We do also still see quite a few of those.
I don't think Faker chose that pose. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like Riot Games told him to do it and he's like, okay. Like Bell is so like, he's just happy to be there, you know?
Looking to play for that Tempest position. But again, right, we see our kind of meta choice here when it comes to the operators when it is on Space City. But again, teams could look to surprise us.
I mean, I think we'll assuredly see.
Do you
all
think
of our
Riot
teams
told him to
invest
somersault?
Tempest
No, that's
here in this
different
next
though.
round. If I don't
The
see 100%
somersault
Tempest pick
was
rate here,
before
I may
they
be slightly
cared.
surprised. I guess
Now,
for
like
three
you
teams
see,
that have
like
already
him
burned
do
one,
saying like the
there is a
one-liners
chance they may
and
wait for map
in like
6,
the
but as they're running
finals
for map
trailer.
7, everything gets reset.
Like the
So
guy
map
says,
isn't
like
yet
I
you're
forgot who
100%
it
used to
was.
get the next two
Was it
rounds,
Ben?
or you are just
I don't remember.
playing the
But
game
like
wrong.
1 or
Now, as
2
we take a
years
look at
ago,
spawns,
Ben's like,
BTH and Team Nate did have
it was
priority
like
spawns
he's
here for the
saying
man
like
break, so they would not have that moving
I
into the
forgot
next
what it's
round.
called. I'll find it
Teams that
later.
could pull the T1
And like
spawn
bro said like
to
all
everybody
roads
else.
lead
That's
to
the
me
only
or something.
delineation
Like I
in our spot
guarantee you
prediction.
he did
Just
not come
back
up with
into
that.
one,
I
back to
guarantee
back.
I guarantee Riot told him to say
A
that.
very difficult question. In the past, it's been extremely easy, but do you think a team, any team, gets a mantle brick in map 5? Or is this just one of those weird matches?
You gotta play GD
I
again.
wish I could give you an easy answer. How much time do you got?
Yeah, that's right. No clue is my answer. We get into the action, and it looks like FaZe has pulled a T1 spawn. They're trying to make their way through Westgate, and Team Nadeshot, they know the spawn well. They're going to try to catch them in the act, catch them in the transition. Good job smoking and running it, making Team Nadeshot think twice about it. That should get them through.
Big damage.
Oh, there we go. Good exit.
What?
Left,
You still got hit with a headshot. I'll be running ammo. Ah, that's so funny.
Until the Mandel break
Another shot there. Did you see how much space there was? If that guy had any more ammo,
but is
they would
anybody
have
going to be
viewed
able
this
to
right.
walk away with that Mandel break? Let's find out, as it is going to be go very, very soon. Of course, the teams are going to be waiting for those Tempest ults to be ready. And, well, look at that. Everybody has come through with the Tempest. Everybody is ready for
Everyone's
the action.
pulling out their
And the
Tempest.
insanity, hopefully, that round number 6 is going to be bringing in. Or 5.
Yeah, also round 5, first time we're not seeing anybody with an AWM and an M82. Like, this is just the weirdest of matches here in the first day. We still have 2 more days of competition and plenty more games tonight, so we'll be here for a while. And as we take a look at the map and the operator selections, no huge surprises here. Muo running Tempest there for EG. It's going to be Mendo on Team Liquid this time. He's hot. He's on a heater. Let's keep him hot. Mendo's going to be their entry fragger, utilizing Tempest's dive roll, and of course, EED as well. But the real question I have is who's going to go for the
Viewing
brick
with one
first? Is it
eyeball
gonna
that
be
the
Evil Genius,
Vise
or is
is
it
in
gonna
the
be
same
Team
group as
Liquid?
Nightmare,
thinking
so
about
they're
it.
playing tomorrow.
Both waiting on potentially usage of the Tempest ult here. Should have it. And there it is. Muo going for it.
Yeah, they're playing tomorrow.
Yeah. Moo now getting that move on.
Two teams are going for it.
A quick cheeky angle over on towards Theo God. Is that going to change anything though with regards to the pickup here? Oh,
good try.
Oh, you got a double headshot, but Muo went back.
Instantly getting dropped down here. And that is looking pretty strong now. As
Devise pulls equal. Yeah, they're in the same bracket. Who's the other for Nightmare? Farmer, Lucas, and Deathwing.
Finding themselves in a bit of a predicament.
Yeah, bro's locked in.
Articuno trying to figure out if this is.
Yeah, Muo is a good friend of ours.
Sneaky. Hey, look, if your pistol doesn't work, why not just creepy crawl your way to it, grab the brick, and then just run like your
You
life
should
depends on it, 'cause it
grab
certainly
it.
does. I like the defensive
The
pistol that Geo
it's
got
so funny.
put there.
I just ran
Win
if
that
he
gunfight against
grabbed it.
Momo, which not a lot of players can say that they've done that.
But
So
that
nice
way.
shots on the top did have a nice advantage.
He
over the height,
actually
but
just ran in
either way
and
you look at
grabbed it.
on the run, Evil Genius first the brick, and they're gonna back up.
Ah, but
The way they
we
came,
couldn't
which is
have
back
this
towards
there.
bridge. Mindo trying to get some
There we
info.
go.
Gets the info that he needed, which is where is Evil Genius going? We can see where the brick is going, but is the full team going that direction? 100% they are. This is a classic play. A lot of the teams that get this southern spawn that can check bridge first, come from bridge, go for the brick, always go back to bridge and put it in this, what I call the test workshop decoding station. So this will be a fun one to play for, as Evil Genius will have a nice power position, probably playing behind this big truck. The teams that usually play on top of bridge kind of get punished because they get
M16,
pinched
you
by so
got
many
that,
different
Panda.
teams. So oftentimes you'll play on the back side of this point because you know there's a team not on your back. Unless they can somehow, like, literally crawl around you, you know there's only one real direction that you need to be looking, which is back towards where the mantle brick spawns, back where these teams can come from. Now, you have to look a little bit right and a little bit left at the same time, but that's a lot better than checking in front and behind you.
Yeah, I think that's a good goal coming through from the side of Evil Geniuses. We've actually seen them use this strategy before, so curious to see if this one is going to pan out here for them. It does result in quite a bit of chaos erupting down onto the southern position.
That's
here,
crazy.
but
Do you see
I like
that?
what
That was a
Team
double
Liquid are doing as
headshot.
well. They are going to be wrapping around the northern side as they
Did
move
you
in.
see that?
Articuno are
Bro,
barely
I'm like
keeping his
squinting
wits
at
about
my
it, but
monitor.
he is about to receive
Just
quite a bit of pressure coming
double
through from Liquid
headshot
as
him.
Mendo and everybody just now looks to get that full send, moving considerably closer, and this is Articuno now onto the front end.
Oh.
Gonna try to scan to pick up the push. and he's gonna
Okay,
read it.
that
Here they come.
cheese.
Team Liquid getting really aggressive. They slow their roll a bit after quite a bit of utility comes out. Feel like they couldn't just push out into the open. Articuno feels comfortable enough to know that they're over here. Throw some damage down.
Oh, this is not good. This is not good. Okay, okay, huge window.
But not enough to take anybody out.
Good play, good
Mindo's
play.
healed up. And here comes... I much prefer Team Liquid's position. Now in player advantage, you have to send a player over the top to actually chow that. And because they're so focused on that fight, Evil Genius, they lose the brick. WKF's coming in the backside. Moo's going to have to choose.
As long as
fight
they don't
this
get
to or
picked, it's good.
And he actually gets one.
Oh,
Moo
no.
doesn't miss often. And he didn't miss a
What?
single bullet there. Great
What
tracking.
is
Found Mindo's a little
happening?
bit weak, but can't get two.
Okay,
Down goes another for Evil
good
Genius, and
trade.
now they're deeply in trouble. Loco is always last alive, but there's going to be more fraggers from the backside. He's gotta
Okay,
chow
that
one
was
side or
in
the
a
other.
bad
Evil
spot.
Genius
Okay,
is
good
technically rocking a
hold.
hard place, which is Team Liquid and WKF, and now WKF feel like they've got an advantage, and they certainly do.
No.
Once it goes down,
Hold.
Mindo back up,
Hold
and
the
a
line.
full
Hold
tilt,
the line.
pedal to the metal.
No.
WKF technically helped
Oh
right two teams.
my
A huge win,
goodness.
and they're in control of the
What
brick.
just happened?
Insane trade up here coming through from the side of WKF.
Bro,
That
this
is
team always just
looking
slow
absolutely
walking
glorious.
until
They've
they
got
get their fighting around
38
someone.
points.
I swear,
That's the
every
highest that we've
single
seen so
time I
far.
see one.
Absolute insane play coming through from them. They are definitely going to try and make sure that they finish at the tippity top. come the end
Every
of the day here.
single
And of course,
time they
especially now
slow
with that Mandel
walking
brick in their
until someone
position,
else
the
starts
possession
fighting,
on the
or they
would
rat
be that
someone.
ticket
I
for
have
them.
not seen them
But
start a
let's see
fight
what
by
the rest of the
themselves.
lobby is going to do in responses. Team Nature are going to be coming up through those zips, standing on the bridge, scanning through the way, almost having a decent angle
This
there,
is a
but they are going
really
to be
bad
running
spot
into
now,
BTH
because they
potentially
really
as
need
well,
this break.
as both teams are now looking to descend down upon this mantle break.
Damn, we need it. Both the teams are cheering for are out now. Let's cheer for the bottom team.
What a headshot.
Or cheering
Twice
for
about that, crossing
BTS.
that peak. Feeling comfortable. He's going to check another angle. Since he's got some cover to play with.
Yeah, top two
And
teams,
WKF still holding
arguably in
Mantle
times
right
of
now, so they don't
teamwork,
really
are
care about
dead.
securing these kills from distance. They're just trying to keep Team Nature from being able to make a coordinated push and buy a little bit more time, especially because it does look like FaZe is on the move finally. FaZe may be the first to the brick if they want to make a play for it. Likely going to drop that Tempest ult. Pay attention to the time on the decoding station.
Oh, that
If
was
they don't use
so
the ult
good. If they
basically
had
right
like a
this second,
door
which
or something
looks
there
like I
instead,
think Diogod just
they
did
would
as he
have
is the
been in
Tempest
a
player.
much better
He
spot.
may have one more in the bank. depending on how long
That
this thing is
arrow
out
gave
for.
them so much info, but it was such a bad angle for
Really
them.
close. Pecky's gonna go ahead and burn his. He wants to be able to chow for this. and get back to cover.
I wonder if she just stayed backed up and had one person just prone and hold the angle, so you could kill them before they landed the thing.
Is it actually going to stick it? A lot of util being invested, and Pecky's going to try to
Hello, Winnie. How are you?
Immediately steals it right back. Thank you very much. Let's get a reset. I'm fine with that. 2.5 minutes. WKF still in control.
Let's see if they can maintain that control here as a phase.
And Bruce under the trade. Did you see that?
Nadeshot stepping up, but Nadeshot getting wiped out of here, and down to half the lobby we go. And I mean, FaZe and BTH, the only two teams left to contest the WKF here, so this could maybe be in the
All right, BTH, we need to lock
it certainly
in.
Feels like it's gonna go to somebody. With only 3 teams left, there's only so much stalling out you can do, and there's still nearly 10 minutes on the clock. So good news if you're Rise Series fans. We'll get a mantle brick going to somebody, and we've got a team on match point. The question is who? WKF certainly in a power position, especially with BTH.
And BTH need to make a point. They're like slow walking. Okay, they got a pick. They routed a pick. I get.
And they head underground, not feeling like they can take that engagement, nor really would you want to. I mean, they're just weakening their position to be able to play for this mantle brick decoding station.
Yeah, I mean, you have to find a bit of a creative way to get yourself in contention here. And I mean, so far for WKF, things are looking pretty good right now. BTH, I like the aggression that they bring it to the forefront here as well. Just full sending it as they are going to rush up to the brick. But now it all comes down to how well WKF can defend it. You can see Lord Jogo right there on the front line. Getting ready for the steal. Is he going to be able to get his hands on it? No, he gets instantly denied. Quick pick up here from Becky.
They didn't smoke for him. They just did the line smoke. You need to put the smoke on the thing. Okay, let's think of Lucky Tolling. They just did the line smoke, but they didn't do the actual like full smoke on the thing.
Just a moment ago,
so, or you had your line smoke has to go over the brick. Like I was trying to grab the brick in the oven.
Phase down to a duo, but Tempest is still up for them. But Pecky has done a magnificent job holding this decoding station. And he's actually just going to sit on it for the final 20 seconds, up into the bush, looking for anybody coming his way. He's going to pop an ult of his own, because even if he gets knocked here, he's still going to be alive on the map. BTH overlooking the top of it.
Okay, BTH, we're making a play yet? Who's just standing there?
You gotta make a move now, and nobody will make the move. They know the game's not over if WKF get it, and they can't wipe them all. WKF, the first to a mantle brick.
What? They're just not moving in. Why are we giving it?
First in this match, you're in game
I don't understand. You're in last place. You need the brick. Why are we letting the first team get the brick?
Far ahead of everybody else in terms of squad points. This is bad news because even if somebody else
gets they're already winning. Go for the brick.
It's gonna be really tough catching WKF here today.
Like you're losing? Oh god. Oh.
They're gonna try and survive.
Oh no. That might be a build issue. You can see that.
Their opportunity to score some points, right? They can go at FaZe, they can go at WKF to try and turn that 6 into any number higher than that, right? They're going to have to crank out so many points in the remainder of the day, and especially now with WKF putting pressure on the lobby with that mantle brick, it could end in the next round. So
I might as well just pull the switch.
They will have to
bro, PTH, you have 12 points, you're 7 points. You should have just went to the brick. You brought in the Tempest for that reason. Why are we not going in with the Tempest? Like that Tempest all was off cooldown.
To extract here, and extract the mantle break. They'd like to get themselves out of the map to save those gold gear. For those that don't know, you can only buy gold gear once. There's another way to get gold gear using lucky wooden sculptures, but we don't really see that too often anymore. It's a new ad with the Rise series, but it's difficult to do. And the way the maps have been playing, there just hasn't been an opportunity to do some of those special missions like wall breaker, go for the bosses. Fights were just late in the game. Didn't have time. And so, gold armors, if you see a team with them...
And everyone's just sitting here with marksman rifles.
WKF need to get out of Test Workshop. Maybe could send a player out if they'd like to. And then otherwise, play for some of these kills. Starting to run out of daylight here for an extraction.
And where's the lamb sauce? That's me. That's me. I'm like, why aren't you pushing the brick?
Sure will. I mean,
You have
especially if they wanna go for
7 points. Why are we peering?
Peekaboo.
Yeah, they can't afford to have any of that happen to them.
Okay,
So,
they added another guy.
I surely don't expect to see that pool extraction coming through anytime soon. But Face, though, with a nice, quick, easy pickup there, as they do find Lord, and down he goes, being put on timer, and it is going to be Diogod now just kind of guarding that position as well. As you can see him starting to move up.
Walk up with
Gets
this
spotted,
Adiva.
but fortunately, he was playing with his ult, so
And then I
does get
get
him
like
back
hit
into
with like
safety quick
50
and fast.
billion mollies.
But Sidoka
Everyone has
still having a bit of
mollies.
an opportunity here to maybe cause even more ruckus.
Caster laughing if I died, I go.
Just
trying my PC. True.
Occasionally,
That's me. I'm the one laughing.
will yield you some extra points.
No, walking in. I need BTH to log in. You got this. I'm believing in you.
True assault operator.
I bro, you brought a Tempest for a reason.
Assault still technically, but more so like.
Like if you're a Slovakia, you might as well bring in a double hackle.
Diogod's been playing.
Oh
very aggressive
God!
assault, trying to play entry fragger and pick up kills in transition while utilizing the ult, which is a great job from him. Able to secure 3 of his own.
Could you guys see anything? I could not see anything.
All the noise he can possibly make. He knows Toot's got a bow, and he's not hitting that shot. Crab's gonna get a freebie. A nice, very aggressive push is gonna open up.
What was that?
And potentially pick up a res on his teammate.
I take it back. I'm going back to Team Liquid. They're like struggling, like even Bill's eyes, you know, like they can't even see who they're shooting.
Some pretty tough decisions having to be made here. We still have that fast southern extraction available right there. So workshop still up for grabs. Not seeing any of the other extractions really being played here
I
just
tilt
yet.
you so bad.
All down to one,
Why?
just
Because
BTH
I'm
and
just
FaZe
a
are
bit
gonna be looking to
clowning
bring
the
to
bell.
table. As you see, Diogod has been brought
Man, did
back.
you see that? First
That was just a quick
recoil went
retreat
to the
here, so
moon.
Sudoka, he's gonna be just
Locked
pretty much
in.
limited to
He's got
staying in the
this. I
underground,
believe
at
in him.
least for the time being, as they do surface on the far side. BTH just ahead. on
Okay.
that grab. Beautiful trade.
Okay.
Finds the
Ah,
one, but can
they
he pick
club
up
back to
as
the
well?
rat.
I mean, they are now up
Pipe to the ratting.
42
Okay.
Yeah, I mean this is.
To just not be right.
BTF
This
running away
lady
with the game
forgot
at
to
this point.
walk past Cup.
Now you never know what could happen. We talked about teams running away with the game with a crazy amount of kills, etc. And then another team just double bricks, but there's BTH's call. Unfortunately, a little windy out. Doesn't hit his shots
I'm
fast
just
enough.
gonna call that one leg. I'm calling that one leg. BTH, you got the next one.
And again with a full team of 3.
Oh,
FaZe
that one has to be
now back
leg.
to a duo, just looking for whatever they can get their hands on here. It's gonna be a tough fight to take. But even just 1 kill here, 1 kill there can keep you on this leaderboard in a position that is a little bit more favorable. I do want to go ahead and take this.
Yeah,
moment to
if
remind
you're
you, yes,
planning
WKF
to
is
ride,
running
you
away
might as
with
well
it,
just
and
run
yes,
the
somebody
hack
else
wall
can
so you
still win it.
walk fast there.
But the placement on the leaderboard does matter in our group stages. You get extra points for second, third, etc. over fourth, fifth, sixth. So
Okay, okay,
Let's
let's go then.
tiebreakers, and wow, what bad timing! Not thinking he would chow there.
Ah,
Sudoku
okay.
able to get away with murder against
Ah,
a player
crazy.
who's been
Why are they
incredibly
not
hot tonight.
ready? They get too ready. They
Peeks the corner of the bow. Becky peeks it as well. They both kind of stare at each other, but finally, Sudoku gets his gun up and he's able to gun one down.
we need
Now,
no
bottom left of your
rats.
screen,
We
really quick,
need
Simas
good
did
fights.
extract. Took test workshops as expected. Getting one out, protecting some gold gear is nice. Crab just looking for a couple more kills.
Okay.
To make the journey for some of these other teams at the leaderboard.
Wait, why are we
impossible,
pushing
but
by
no, we
ourselves?
can't give them five.
Okay.
Crab falls, and
Okay, that
FaZe
was
are the
almost
last two
bad.
players onto the map. FaZe finally
That
win a
was
map.
almost
Coming online
bad.
with a ton of kills, actually.
Bro
Stoker's on
pushed
3,
in
Diogod's
by
on 3.
himself. I was
Lee
like,
6,
oh
and I wanna say that,
no.
yeah, maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah, I mean, they've had a fairly decent run there. I mean, as you can see, looking at the points there, they are sitting on a grand total of 6 kills. So even share across the board between Diogod and Sudoku. But of course, now the big objective at hand.
I think he's
can
trying
you
to buy
extract
time, but if you're
decent
trying to
bit
buy
of
time, you
loot?
should
Can you
spread
get
out the
enough
molly.
just crammed up into that 3x3
Because he's
make all
trying
of
to
this
shoot it
worth
right in
even
front of the
more as we are gonna
box.
be looking at that final few moments, just looking to play out here, and of course it is pretty slim pickings.
That
right?
was a
The
good
3x3
play
is
there.
only so big. We
Like
do
the
see a few
two
of those
like
contacts being played
best
as
team
well
fighting
now.
teams got
Teams are trying
knocked
to
out
find
at the
any and
very
every little
beginning
bit of value
tier.
that they can muster up,
And that
but
was just
the
like
clock,
the
I'm
rest
pretty sure
is
gonna
the
get
rest
punched
is
down
just
before
people
too
like
much
ratting
roasting
for a
can
pick.
continue. So FaZe will have to settle for what they've been able to get in this
And
round.
sometimes it's
Well,
just
that is predominantly kills.
that's just what you get.
They got a ton of kills, FaZe did, but the big winners by a mile are WKF, who got probably at least as many or close to it, and finally got the first mantle brick. So
Like I'm pretty
FaZe,
sure Evil
WKF, the big winners,
Geniuses
and then teams
and
like
Team
Evil
Liquid are the
Genius
only two
Team
teams that
Liquid,
would
unfortunately, the
literally
losers
just
here
send
in
it.
map number
But they
5.
fought
Evil
each other
Genius tried
every single time.
to kind of
And
take
hey,
matters
they
into their
fight
own
each other
hands and
at the very
start the
beginning
code
and they wipe each
early.
other out.
Immediately get
That's what's been
swarmed by
happening this
WKF.
entire game.
Begin in the third
It's
party.
been so
No
bad.
engagement from Genius versus Team Liquid. Team Liquid win that engagement with the help of the third party from WKF, but then WKF W key and they full send to take down Team Liquid as well. That's 7 kills. So it did look like Seabots had one of his own for a total of 7 for this roster, nearly 2,000 damage and 3 mil assets because Seabots was able to get out of the map with those golds. They're going to have them for the next round, and of course they got the mana brick as well, DK. But talk to me about the rest of the teams. Like we thought, FaZe Clan did pick up 6 kills.
Yep, still contributing quite a bit of carnage.
Yeah, EG and Team Liquid are like arguably the best teams in terms of team fighting. But they're just getting like cooked in third parties and stuff.
Is going to be leading the board here with a 4 going over to them. FaZe again just doubling down, managing to lock in the 6 is going to help just to push them a little bit further up the overall board. But Bakey also
like if you're BTH at the bottom of the leaderboard, right? Like if you're ratting at the bottom, that I'm okay with that, you know, because you're getting the points that you need, right? That means you're in first place. And we got the points from just slow walking. By being slow walked, enemy instantly got 2 votes.
Mandel break that we saw getting decoded, and that big play that you mentioned.
I want to see them move. They got
ensuring
this.
that not all golds are lost. Definitely is going to help pay off once they move into that next round.
Yeah, that's exactly right. WKF, the big winners, but Mr. GeoGod, the MVP, for good reason. You shouted it out. He picked up the 3 kill points, and he picked up 2 assists. There's only 6 kills from FaZe. He was involved in all of them. A great Tempest player. And again, I was talking about how he used Tempest to play really aggressive. So congrats to FaZe for having a solid round. But again, WKF is the team to catch. You got to catch them soon, though, because they could close it out in the next round, DK. So I ask you the age-old question. Are we ending in 6? Or are we going to 7?
I would like to say 6.
They were ending in 6. They're gonna run again, and then it's gonna be
I
kicked.
don't know, but I see the setup that you gave me
Yeah,
there. It's a
console
little bit of this,
division.
and
We really don't.
That's crazy. All right,
At that
folks,
point, you
as
might as
we
well do
prepare
mobile.
for
I'll go pro and
Game
mobile.
6, we're going to take a very short break here in the booth. Can WKF go back-to-back and get double brick and close this thing out in 6, or will we end in 7? We'll see you in just a little while.
And I'm counting on them to go double Tempest. Because they don't have Tempest anymore, right? I don't think they have Tempest anymore. I think Team Liquid have Tempest. And Evil Geniuses are in a really bad spot because they don't have a Tempest anymore. They burned both their Tempest. Yeah, I just know Team Liquid still have a Tempest. They're gonna play it this gen. They have to get this break. They have to go for a double brick here. And send a runner to loot. It's not worth it because getting 2 mil is the same as one kill, right? So you might as well just go for the kill, you know? Also, I'm pretty sure they disabled loot value any red over 3 mil. I haven't seen anyone pull a red above 3 mil. Cause like imagine you pull a tier of the ocean, right? And you just win the video game. Because then that's worth 25 points. You just randomly get 25 points. I love watching this. Like watching pro play might be like my new thing. That is better than just chatting because there's nothing to yap about. Man, this I have stuff to yap about, you know?
We're back. Delta Force Rise Series Week 2.
You got a question? It's how to share the mission with teammates. You can't finish the mission at the same time, except if it's a fake contract and it says you can, then you both accept the mission at the beginning. That's pretty much it, though.
WKey Forever is on match point, and they have double.
I vote more matches. I think they should go to 10.
The amount of
10 matches
from any other team. What a ridiculous turn of events.
Yeah, because they're just slow. They're just so low. They're just so slow with how they play.
I've been you know, blowing them up the whole day. This is
I'm counting on Team Liquid to double brick here. I'm counting on any team to double brick. We need to double brick so that they can.
What a way to double down on the efforts here. And I mean, what a turnaround, right? The first day of play, they had 7 kills. 7. They got that all the way back much earlier in the day. They are now on 30 points. Absolutely insane. You've already pointed it out. They are coming through with a very strong 42 match
Like, they're just
score,
timing
right?
the third party, and if there's no third party, they just rat. They never engage.
Absolutely on a rampage, and they could wrap
Like,
it
I
up
want to see them engage in this game.
number 6.
I want to clarify my statement. WKey Forever is
I'll take
in
it
last
back
place
if
on our
they
standings. They are 12th overall, which means they wouldn't even make it to week 5 if things didn't change. Now, there's of course plenty of more weeks to play, including the rest of this match, but good grief. Well, folks, as we take a look at our operator choices.
Yeah, like before today, they were in last place. They just routed their way to the instruction point. They might just bring the Hackla just to scan them out.
Available to them to see what the teams are going to be looking to do for this next play here, to see if anything could happen. But of course, it could go any which way, right? They could surprise us with a few of their choices, but we see our popular choices again. It's going to be Singer, Luna, and of course Tempest to make its way in here. And it
Yeah, Evil Geniuses bring the Tempest and the Luna early, so and now it's very difficult.
I'm just trying to get over the insane number of points that we've been witnessing so far, but it is going to be that play for T1 Spawn yet again.
Yeah, we talked about it. Team Liquid, FaZe Clan had the last one, so the question is who will have the next ones? Well, it could be anybody else. So you'll pay attention to those T1 spawns, namely just because you can get to the Mantle Brick first. But the way these maps have been playing, it doesn't matter all that much.
Notice how no one spawns Assembly, because Assembly is the worst spawn on this map. And I always get it when I solo queue.
Guess what that means? No more bait and switch. We've got one more giveaway before we jump into round number 4. It's time. It's on your screen right now. Redeemable code for 1,000 Delta tickets. This is what you've been asking for. Type it in quickly, redeem it in game or at the official website online.
Redeem.
Go type in your code. Go get your Delta tickets.
Redeem
You
it.
earn them by watching the
1,000 tickets.
This matchup here in week 2, day 1. Type in your code. Again, this
Load
is
it
limited
up.
redemption. So if you type it in too slow, you're going to miss your Delta tickets. Type it in as fast as you possibly can, and hopefully you can earn your tickets and take them home.
I don't think so. I think there's like a set amount.
Use those tickets on, DK. Here we go. It's map 6. Let's see what they can do.
I was trying to pronounce that code, and it still seems to be quite a bit of a challenge. Like, it's something. But Westbridge, though, is where things are going to look to maybe heat up as we see W Key Forever are going to be pushing through on that side.
It doesn't work, kind of like you. You got scammed.
None other than Team Nature. Now, we've seen in the past teams that have been able to find themselves in that T1 spawn generally have a high probability chance of being the team to get the mantle break.
Technically,
That has not been the case here today whatsoever, right? I mean, WKF,
that's okay, just go to codes on mana breaks. That's like 10 mana breaks. There's like no
can
way.
they continue with that momentum as they
You got
now
that.
get to venture up to the mantle break, get this party underway, but they're going to have to deal with BTH and, of course, the players then coming through from Team Nadeshot as well.
Yeah, WKF, Team Nadeshot, BTH, all looking to play for the brick off rip, whereas Team Liquid, FaZe, Evil Genius, they're electing to play quite slow here, and actually it's just going to be WKF saying, guys, I don't really care that you're finding. Look at BTH, by the way, finding that missile, 1.4 mil. Exciting stuff. I'm going to be honest. Their total score is 7 right now. They need all the loot they can find. So big shout out to BTH getting a little RNG lucky on the map with the graphics card as well. That's a ton of loot, but we've got to pay attention to the brick. WKF is on match point, and they grab the brick first, and nobody really contests them. Where do they head to start the decode? What do they want to play with? They've got 2 engineers and a D-Wolf. Am I predicting an inside decoding station this time, DK? I think I'd certainly think that's a pretty good idea if you're not using a Tempest.
Yeah, I mean, that seems very, very plausible coming through from them. And, ooh, well, I mean, this is kind of inside.
Okay.
Kind of not, right? It's kind of inside the alley, right? So it works, sure. Not really, but, you know, let's not be too pedantic about it. But one thing that I am looking at is BTH, and I said this before, right? They need to up the ante because in their first day of play,
Like, bros,
they only managed to score a grand total
like,
of 1
our
match
name
point,
is W
right?
key, but they're not W
They
key.
cannot continue to play like this. They
That
have
is
to
a
double
strange,
down. They have to get
strange
aggressive,
thing.
go out there and, heck, even get their hands on a mantle break.
No, I like that call out. As we pay attention to what these teams have been able to do, it is worth mentioning. Like I mentioned before, WKF is the only team without a single point on our group stages. So to pick up 10 here would take away all of the excessive bleeding that happened in week 1 from them and put them square in probably the middle of our leaderboard.
They had
Really
0 points, and now they're riding their way to first place.
Also, if they're able to double brick, this prevents so many
Please, Team Liquid, I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you.
Every mana brick is a group stage point as well, folks. Really important when you're trying to.
The good thing is that they don't have a Tempest anymore. So this is good for Team Liquid. Yeah, Team Liquid is the best team with the Tempest though. So I need them to get a double bricky.
TH on height, Team Nadeshot on low ground. WKF in complete control. They just elected to go this direction, not because of an operator choice, but more so because of the information that they had gained on the map. They knew there was nobody over here. Start the decode, and they have complete control of this position. We always talk about the ramp being a win condition. Being able to play indoors here is very nice, especially when they have so much utility to throw at that decoding station and zone off some pushes. If they can hold ramp as well, which is what it looks like they're doing right now. If Crab's able to get a kill here, this could be huge. He's able to tag 1, but calling in the reinforcement saying, whoa, that's a full team of 3. I'm not prepared for that.
Yeah. A good angle being held here, and I think Crab is a really good player to have defend that ramp position. But still, you got to watch out for what the Evil Geniuses could be bringing in here, as well as we do see Team Nadeshot, though, getting full possession of ramp. They do step up, and no contention really coming through from the side here of WKF. I mean, this could be slept just quite comfortably, pushing forward onto that steal, as so far has been denied, and so it is still strong defenses being held by WKF. Ramp not really paying off for the side of Team Nadeshot just yet.
That was an interesting one. I mean, this is what I was talking about. You see how much utility they were able to throw at the decoding station to make Team Nadeshot think twice about that push. I'm kind of surprised. He must have run out of time on the emergency evasion device. It was a pretty long one. Otherwise, you just bait out all the util, wait a second, then go for the steal right as you're wrapping up your ult. But I think he might have just ran out of time. Regardless, Team Nadeshot's still in a pretty good position to be able to play for the brick.
We have 40 seconds.
They have full control over the ramp, so WKF are having to play indoors, and Evil Genius is down below as well.
Are we
with the
pushing
pressure
in?
and the util coming their way, gonna
There's
expect Team
30
Nate to full
seconds
send this.
left.
The Incendiary is going to ward them off for a moment, but you got to just kind of commit. Problem. You got Sonic Trap, you got Triple Blast, you got everything in between, but he's still able to get it. Rolls out of there, gets the steal. Team Nadeshot now in control of the grid, while Genius are pushing and pressuring from the low side.
Yeah, again, the basing is being picked up quite a bit here, so WKF need to re-strategize as to how they could get their hands back on that mantle break, but now it's going to be the Evil Geniuses already looking to play out
They
their
just
strategy.
all ignored him.
Unlike Team Nature's position
That's
as well,
crazy.
locking down
The
that
his very
ramp, so
gentleman
whichever
walked
way
up.
it goes,
He
they
didn't.
have a
His
pretty
tech
good
result
say in the
expired.
matter.
And he
Still,
just stood there.
looking to gain the angle. Not the best position to move up from, but it is got a little bit of an opportunity to try and advance forward.
I don't think the molly breaks when you're standing on the thing, so you only took 2 damage and the 40 damage from the shepherd chip.
So whatever they decide to do, they're gonna have
Because
to
you're
fully
standing on
commit
top
to
of
that, but still,
the decode
counter is
station.
going to be ticking. We're about to hit that 2.5 minute mark, and Team Nature though in still very good possession. There's a big opportunity for WKF to play the upset here.
WKF doesn't have a Tempest. They're gonna have to just truly full send this. Team Nature have control of the ramps. So
Team Liquid playing really slow.
There's gonna be a lot of smokes and a lot of util to ward off Team Nature for WKF to actually make a play. And now you can see Evil Genius is actually finding one on BTH. Great shot over the top from Loco means that they can full send and full tilt. And they get a second as well.
Okay.
BTH in a blender after all
Good
that loot they found on the
job.
map earlier. Now they're running. This feels way too familiar. Ka last alive with the team, running and hiding, hoping to stay alive. But Evil Genius, they want the kills. They want the extra $50, and they want to make sure that their back is covered, and that's exactly what happens. BTH first out. BTH having a brutal day. Gonna have to regain.
Unlucky. They found a whole bunch of rats that they put in the safe box.
They'll definitely have to do that. But let's see who is going to be the ones to step up and now contest the decode here as TN full on the lockdown. Ooh, a little bit of an offensive shepherd being played here. It's going to be a full send now from Team Nature, trying to see if they can breach. So far, being denied access, being denied entry, and WKF trying everything they can. But up comes FaZe L Snows, one of the names who've been shouting excessively.
And why are we not just killing the yellow T first?
60
So
seconds.
now you're cooked. You're in a really bad spot now.
Who's gonna make the play first? FaZe, also out of Tempest ults, or Tempest in general. Gonna have to win this with their gunny. Snowsland's great utility. Look at that incendiary over the top of Smile when Team Nate shot down to a duo here.
Now Molly was
It's gonna be a tough one to hold,
perfect.
but 45 seconds is all they need. Evil Genius could make a play from low here, but WKF are back to full force. This is gonna be a tough fight to take, and so they're gonna have to rely on somebody else to make a play.
30
Could it be somebody
seconds.
from Team Liquid? Could it be Mindo with his ult just run up and steal while Team Nate Shot's in trouble? He could swing out here from the far side door coming from the low ground. It's possible, but he's got to make a move. 20 seconds on the clock. Smile feeling the pressure from both sides.
All right, go, go, go.
Really worried about ramp side, but they do need to check the decoding station. Here comes
Mindo, go,
Holds
go,
up,
go.
sticking the brick. Mindo
Okay.
He's able to get Smile, and he's able to wipe Team Nate Shot with the help of Snows.
Let's
He pauses the
go.
timer. Mindo ran out of ult. Team Nate
Let's
Shot would've
go,
gotten the brick, but FaZe
Mindo.
struck at the
Good
exact same
hold.
time. Team Nate Shot go down. Brick is paused, and we got
My
plenty of
actual
game to
guys
play.
got pincered.
Yeah, so here we go. Now it's up to the teams to get those positions.
And like
spread or get
WKF is still just sitting in the building, bro. Like everyone's fighting and they're just sitting in the building.
It's going to be a
Stop.
pretty tough position for them to try and fight through, but a quick cleanup is going to come in here. So Doga, again, going to be the last hopeful for his team. Now trying to get the heck out of there. As you can see him all the way over towards Black Chamber. But WKF, though, is still pretty committed to pushing forward. I mean, if they can get this decode, this could be the game, right? This could be the day the match is over right then and there. So there's so much on the table here for them.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good job from WKF just playing patient. I mean, it is one of those things where they kind of said, well, somebody else will do our dirty work for us.
And playing patient is not what I would call it.
Because other people didn't want the
I'm
game
not
to be
gonna
over
lie.
either, or potentially over. There's no notification telling you exactly who is decoding, but you can get a pretty good idea, especially if you get a knock.
Bro's
Crowd
trying to keep his
has
job.
been
I
the
believe in
hero
him.
of
He's left
WKF.
it.
One of the main reasons they've been so successful today. He's got my MVP as a current, but nobody is decoding this mana brick. And Evil Geniuses are right back in the same spot that Team Nadeshot was, except they're in a slightly better position because they don't have somebody staring at their back. Nobody's coming up ramp right now.
Sucking
it
it.
feels like a 3v3 because Team Liquid's
I
so
don't know
far
what to
away.
do when it's
Evil Genius,
when it's a
they've got control.
freaking
Well,
yeah.
looks
They
crazy
actually
of a
just don't
play
know what to do.
so far,
They're just
yet.
sitting there
Good trade up going through there from
because they can't
EG.
run for
Oh,
the
gotta
final
sort out
brick.
that machine gun and ba, ba, ba.
They've
So much
been
for that.
waiting for like
On my end, but
Team
meanwhile,
Liquid
it's
to
gonna
make
be
a play on this
Team
brick,
Liquid
and that
creeping
they're
their
gonna
way
their
up the
party.
stairs. They are going to be creeping and encroaching on that Mandel brick. Looking to see if they can maybe contest that decode, but you got to watch out for them rockets as they are going to be sent straight over onto his WKF. Mendo trying to line up the angle, not finding it just yet, but this is Team Liquid trying to buy themselves a little bit of time. They want to
Mando's
maybe
not, man.
wrap
They
all the
don't.
way
They get
around
their
over
own
onto
points.
ramp.
Mando is like its own
Yeah, they
point
could come up
system,
both
so you
sides.
only
They've
need
got plenty
2
of time.
Mando
There's still
bricks.
2 minutes on the clock. Maybe they could have played containers if they wouldn't got us spotted, and I think Mindo assumed he got
And
spotted. when
points
we
are
were
only
rocking,
from
therefore threw the
kills
disarm just so
and
they couldn't
loot.
cross, but I don't know if that was
So they had 30,
habit
43
or
points from
necessary.
loot and
Either way,
1
it should
Mando
be
brick.
fine. Real question. Oh yeah, they spotted him. Hello, Sudoka trying to be sneaky. Run, run, run. Worried about this potential solo though. Could slow Team Liquid down enough to where they either make a mistake and Sudoka's able to grab a kill, or slow them down enough so they don't actually make a play for the brick. And it looks like Team Liquid's seeing that solo, not knowing it's a solo, thinking this might be a full
I
roster
know, they
phase or
had
otherwise.
literally
They
just
actually
waiting
back
in the
to shooting
building
kids. Maybe
for
peek
someone
hallway while
else
WKF
to
is putting in
fight.
crazy amount of utility over on Loco. He was trying his hardest to stay alive. Put out the fires, my man. You're still up. And here comes Team Liquid through containers.
This could be the setup here. As you can see, Mendo trying to push up. Hot Sick on the cover here as Mendo goes in for the
Because they don't
he's able
know,
to walk away
they
with that
don't
one
know
for free. So
who's
far, so
holding the brick.
But
The word
quite a
is
bit of damage heading over in the
WKF.
direction there of Hutzik. Now Loco on the defensive, trying to just man that doorway, but unfortunately that's not where he needs to focus, right? He needs to turn his attention onto Team Liquid.
Okay, Mendo got the brick.
Push up, but Saidoka, beautiful off-angle play here.
It was a beautiful angle. Unfortunately, some missed shots means he doesn't actually get netted a kill. That could have changed
Thanks for
everything to see
actually
a player go
still
down there
just
and a
sitting
fall.
here.
Open things up
They
for the rest of
just
the lobby,
sitting
but
there,
5
baby.
minutes on the clock. 2 minutes on
What
the
is
decode. If you go to minimum
happening?
timer, if it gets stolen again, there's technically a chance that
I mean,
nobody
that's
gets
so
this break,
afraid
but
it's
it's
like,
feeling
now what
very
is
likely with
there?
full 3 teams of 3,
What
and
is
then that solo.
happening?
I think somebody's going to get this brick. It's just a matter of who.
Well, the top 3 teams currently in the lobby are all looking to contest for it. And of course, we have FaZe in the mix as well. Okay. Just trying to move around the map. Maybe look to see if you can find a few sneaky, cheeky
Facts,
angles.
does Mulan by herself by the rocket? It'd be
Meanwhile,
so
we do
funny
have
if
a
does
few
Mulan
what
snipe
sounds
someone.
like bot shots
The
coming
boy
through
just go,
here
man.
from the side of EG. Let's see, is WKF maybe gonna look to try and challenge
There's
this
only
position.
4
Whatever they
minutes
decide to do,
left.
they're
They
gonna
have to
be
make a play.
really quick about it because as you
AG
mentioned
needs to
before,
challenge this
there
team
is
in
only so much
centrifuge.
time available on that decode. So
But they're
if
not-
they
they're
want
not
to try and
moving.
steal the show, if they want to end this early, that is exactly what they got to do, and they can't get caught out by the Molotovs.
Yeah, Pecky with a great angle here, though. A ton of utility coming back the other direction, but I think Pecky may have needed a chow there. If he would have gotten one knock, Evil Genius could have been in a position where they could actually get wiped. But instead, they're able to find cover.
Okay,
and throw
Articuno,
all of
I'm
the
counting
utility
on
door.
you.
Here comes Team Liquid finally striking.
Okay, hot sec.
Articuno goes down. Team Liquid with
30
a power position right
seconds.
now. And WKF
You
feel
need
that
to make a
pressure coming
play.
on the backside of Muo, so they get really aggressive as well. 30 seconds on the clock. Yes, you can go for the steal, but you can also just go for the wipe, and that's exactly what happens.
Man,
With
just
the help of
close the
Crab.
door.
Evil Genius is down. WKF is still alive. Team Liquid looking to capitalize on this, but
Oh,
WKF is the team that can close it
Marianthus.
out right here. Team Liquid, now that they've wiped Evil Geniuses, they've got to be a hero. It's 3v3v1, and there's still a team on the map that can win this
Okay,
competition
Team
and win this
Liquid,
match.
I'm counting on you.
It can still swing
We got
either
this. We got
which way.
this.
Let's see. Can the Team WKF get their hands
Please.
on it in time? I mean,
They
Team
can't
Liquid's
do
definitely gonna
anything.
try and steal this one for
They can't,
themselves.
right?
They just have
They can't
And then
wrap a
also
last
onto that
team.
D-guard, so
Surely
this
they
one could
don't.
be
That
in
phase
bag.
guy doesn't
Sudoika-
doesn't
Sudoika are the
doesn't
complete
screw
running into
screw
world of
them
trouble there as
already.
well. I mean, I like
Let
the
them pay
position that
fighting.
FaZe has been trying to adopt here.
Please.
Kind of trying to be that shadow lurking out
There
on
we
the map.
go.
Is it going to pay off though? That will be the big question.
WKF, you've got to make a play. It's going to be a ton of util spam. Lua Rocket get a read that Mindo's on ramp and everybody else is as well. So what does he do? He goes underneath the stairs. Smart play to try to change up the angles. Even just a half a second of an advantage of Peeker's advantage down to the low side, thinking he's a little bit further away. Mindo may get a kill here. 20 seconds on the
What
clock.
is
Mindo
that?
holds out, I
What
believe.
is
Gets really
happening?
aggressive, trying to stick to Dakota Teacher to find some kill. He goes down. Seaboss finds one, but only 15 seconds. You either got to wipe the team or you got to get the steal. Hots, it goes down. WKF,
No,
they get the
no,
steal. There's only one remaining
please.
member of Team Liquid up, and they're trading blows. Team
No.
Liquid down to a solo, and FaZe a solo against the full team of 3 that can close it out right here, right now. Unbelievable job, and as we swap perspectives, we see
All
that
right,
Team Liquid
FaZe.
has been
We
wiped.
need to lock in.
Hotsick is not alive. That is it. The only player that could force us to game
All
7
right.
is Sudoka, who's been a solo for 80% of this lobby. What a turn of
All
events.
right.
Tortoise
You have
beats the hare
50 seconds.
yet again on
You
main.
need to be
Patience
the
pays
hero.
off for WKF. My goodness.
I just want to bring something to the attention here. They have 49 points on the board now. Right now,
Unbelievable.
the highest squad points that we've seen so far on a single day was 31 or 33. 33, right? That was brought in by Nightmare, right? Just in this play alone, they
Wait, check
almost
this.
have as many squad points as the team at the top of the board.
It's crazy. We got to check this. Technically, Sudoka's got to make a play, but he's not going to. He's too
Honestly,
scared to make the play through a full team of 3.
Yes,
Doesn't
he
want to give away the
can't
kill,
do
not
anything.
knowing that WKF's about to win right here. I thought there was a chance he could just suicide go for the steal to just keep playing the game, but no. WKF go back-to-back double brick, and we end in 6, DK. What is happening? One of the weirdest matches I've seen thus
so
far.
unlucky.
WKF had 0 group stage points in their match that they played last week. They got last. They got 0. They didn't get a mana brick. Today, they are the only team to get a mana brick, and they pick up a perfect 10. My goodness, I was
What
not
is
expecting that.
happening?
Absolute insanity going through from them. I'm sure Mendo is also still trying to figure out.
Oh, they're
what
actually just
living
like
goodness
waiting in the
happened,
building
right? Because this entire day was just such
until
an
every
interesting day
team
to
is
see what these
dead.
players were bringing out
That's
onto the field,
actually
but
all they did.
again, right? I just want to emphasize the insanity that
GGs.
WKF had decided to bring in here today. You said it, right? The last time they walked away with not a single match
Look at
point.
this.
Here today, they are again our best team on the board. 5 kills going their way, 1,300, almost 1,400 damage, and they get that double brick D card as well. So a big W going over to them with 5
They
kills to
actually
accompany
just
that.
stood there.
I can't emphasize how big of a win and how desperately WKF needed this win. For a team to have 0 points after the first week, you had to be extremely consistent or drop.
They actually just stood there for 20 minutes until every squad was dead, and then they just hard pushed to one team
Everybody
at the
shows
very
up in
end.
slightly different form, week after week, match after match, and there's a lot more matches.
Yeah,
to be
maybe
had
I
in
should
group
I
stages,
should
but
also
this
make
is
the
different
hack wall.
WKF than we saw
They
in
are
the
slow
last
like
rep. Big shout out
everywhere.
to, of course, our top damage dealers here as well. Evil Genius had a solid rep, but really couldn't get anything going after a couple nice plays. They'd try to decode, and then they'd get swarmed by everybody on the map, getting third-partied and pincered from ramp, and on the other side, shipping containers, and they just couldn't stay alive. WKF, they just turtled up, played inside, truly an iconic play from them. BTH found solid loot on that map, but ended up getting cut down early. I mean, truly a tortoise and a hare situation. They turtle up inside, played slow, and they just survived. You got to be alive to win, and they did just that.
I mean, I think they
Hello,
did a little bit more than
Colin.
that, but of course a big shout going over
You
to
guys did
Premier,
really
our
well.
MVP XP
We
for
were
this
cheering for
final
you the
round of
entire
today.
time.
300
like,
damage on the board,
like you
2
kept
kills
on
as
getting
well as
like
that assist, but
third partied
unfortunately, not a
and
single
like,
bit of assist going their
oh,
way. You know
that
what?
brackish
It
one was
doesn't matter.
such a
Why? Because they
scam.
got the double
This
brick.
freaking
That is the
helicopter.
fastest way
Oh, that
to win
helicopter
the day,
pissed
and
me
what
off.
a day it has been. I mean, WKF, they have just been working so exceptionally hard across all the bits that they could find here today. And I mean, the amount of squad points that they have on the board now, right?
It's
going to be
unbelievable.
absolutely insane. I mean, we saw them sitting with 51 before they wrapped it up. 51! To put that into perspective, some of our other beast teams that we had, right, got like 33 on a day. They got 51. Insane.
I know. Insane stuff. Well, folks, WKF might have won, but we still want to reward you today. You've been seeing it in the chat. It's in the pinned comment here in the Twitch channel, but it's time for our final giveaway. This is your chance to win 3,000 Delta tickets. You can see it right here. You can type exclamation
3,000 Delta tickets. Go to their thing and type exclamation mark giveaway. Don't type it here. Typing it here does nothing. You go there and type.
Facebook, and if you're watching on X, we'll announce the winner in the comments under the live stream. So good luck to you out there. We want to see you rewarded with some Delta tickets. By
Aggro, you guys have fun with that.
So again, 3,000 Delta
There's
tickets.
no giveaway. Stop.
Giveaway on the main streams or repost that live stream on X, and we'll announce those winners. But back to the action at hand. We've got a lot of winners in chat, I'm sure, but the winners at hand, WKF.
We're gonna add here.
I called him a tortoise in the last round because they did play really slow and patient. The rest of the rounds, they slaughtered everybody. You called it out. They have.
Alright. Let's go find someone. I'm gonna. Let's see. And I can't find anyone today. Yeah, we can call it. Zyro. Sarah is by Mist of Pain. Day. We'll see how Sarah. Spaghetti packs. Alright. Good night, friends. First of all, I'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow, Nightmare and Liquids is gonna be playing. So I will see you tomorrow, and then we will watch it. I might be late tomorrow because I might go to a card show. We shall see. I should be back in time. Okay, bye, friends. I want to hear it from the scalper. Scalper alert over here. Okay, bye.